Hello, and welcome back to the Free Game Podcast. I'm just recording a little bit of an intro here all alone without Justin, because we forgot to record one with him and Calvin for this episode. This is our Halo Reach Part 2 episode, and we're going to be talking about the campaign of Halo Reach, so if you'd like to hear about the multiplayer elements of the game, that'll be in our first Halo Reach episode. So yeah, with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and listen to our podcast now. Okay, bye.
Yes. No.
Checkmate.
All right, Calvin. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not asking Holden to do this because one, he didn't finish the campaign.
Okay.
There's a lot of reasons, but I want you to give a quick synopsis of the Halo Reach campaign from whatever you remember or gathered.
Like of the whole story, or
just the story of the Halo Reach campaign. What happens?
He is
who's
sweating.
who?
Yeah, I know that my guy's name was Six.
Okay.
Noble 6.
Noble Six. Yep. And which is different because
It's not Noble 5, and it's not...
it's not Master Chief,
That's true.
right? And so
Great
I don't know what
point.
it feels like to play as Master Chief.
Oh boy,
yeah,
it's the same.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, it
But
doesn't
you're
matter.
Master Chief.
People are gonna hate that I said that, but the gameplay is the
The
same
gameplay
as
is the same.
as if you were.
But you're
anyone else.
not Master Chief.
No. I know people were mad. I think that Reach, you're not playing as Master Chief, but
You're just some guy.
Bungie was like, you know what? Maybe they don't want another Master Chief game.
yeah.
How wrong they were.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going, buddy.
But yeah, you're Noble Six. I don't. For me, it was somewhat hard to follow the whole story, but all I know is that we're a group of Spartans and we're getting attacked by the Covenant,
Mhm.
and it was our job to there was missions to identify their base and help get and in the end the main thing was to help get Cortana, the AI,
Mhm.
to safety, because that was our only hope.
Mhm.
And I also love the mission right in the middle where we board their ship,
Oh
the
yeah.
Covenant ship, and
Yes.
destroy that.
Yes.
So
That
those
was
are
Awesome.
those are the highlights for me.
Yes.
I don't totally, even after the whole thing, I don't totally understand much of the story and how it relates to the first Halo, except for that this is where the Covenant came into play and the beginning of Cortana.
Okay.
I have something I would like to add.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that the storyboard writers for Rogue One played this video game.
I've
would
heard
like-
that comparison a
Let's
lot.
just
Yeah.
do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's it's a trope. You know?
It's basically the same story.
Yeah.
It's like replace Cortana with Death Star,
Yeah.
the
Plans.
the plans for the
Yeah.
Death
The
Star,
plans.
and it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I haven't seen Rogue One in a long time. I want to watch it again, but
I thought it was really good,
so
but I'm not a Star Wars fan. So anybody who's like,
they're like, no.
don't crucify me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one. You're safe. I think most people think that's probably the best Star Wars,
Movie?
newer Star Wars.
That's
movie.
that's what I thought. I remember going to see it in theaters, and I didn't want to stop watching it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
because this guy ain't a Star Wars fan. don't
I
know if you
really
know that.
don't like Star Wars.
Cal and I went to the Force Awakens midnight premiere.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
We got on the news.
We got on the news because I was dressed as Luke with a Yoda backpack and my lightsaber.
Uh-huh.
Justin was.
I was Emperor Palpatine.
Were you guys allowed to go in with your lightsabers?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, I think we had to hide those in your backpack.
Oh, did we? Oh, yeah. You're probably right. Yeah. They were hiding in Yoda. Yeah.
Do you know what was even more lame than that? I spent an hour doing my own face paint to look like Emperor Palpatine.
Uh-huh.
And I honestly thought I did a good job. But when I was walking in, giving him my ticket or whatever, he was like, you can't come in with that face paint. I was like, well, what do you want me to
Pourquoi?
do? And he's like, look, we're not going to be the theater that gets robbed by the guy dressed as a character tonight.
And you're like, correct, you're not. Then
Yeah.
you just walked in.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to rob you, dude. I'm
Yeah.
here to see the
He's like,
movie."
no, we're not going to be the
Yeah,
theater.
no. So he escorted me to the bathroom to wash my face. And of
Here's
course,
the thing: you have to play it cool in that situation, like as in you,
because otherwise,
because it's just going to be a horrible.
he's like,
situation.
all right, then get out of here.
Yeah, but like when he's walking you in there, I bet he was like, "I'm sorry, man," and you can't be like, "Yeah." You have to be like, "No, it's totally fine. Don't even worry about it."
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it went.
And
I was like,
you're just
whatever,
lying, but it's
Yeah.
like that's how I would be. I like in the moment would be like, "This is all my fault," and then later would be like, "Hold on a second.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's ridiculous."
Everyone's dressed up. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Maybe no one had face paint or like a helmet.
I love the sentiment of we're not going to be,
I know,
the
like
movie
they're
theater.
afraid of being embarrassed by who robs them. I'm like, look, if I'm capable of robbing you,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
what my face
matter,
is.
yeah.
It's
Also-
like, we're not going to be the movie theater that gets robbed by some idiot kid in some stupid face.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
be cool at least.
yeah, it's
Call
like
yourself
some
a black
nerd.
bandit.
Like taking off your face paint is going to stop you.
I know. It's like either way, I look the same when I enter and when I leave.
Uh-huh.
When I rob someone,
Because you're
which
still
I've never
in a-
done.
You're already pasty as all get out, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
So
It's
if
like
you
they're
have
not
makeup
going to
on.
recognize you because you have face paint on.
Right.
Like, oh, we don't know that's this
Yeah,
kid.
we don't know who this guy is. Yeah, like what?
In fact, you
Yeah.
having the makeup on helps them.
Seriously,
If
Yeah.
you rob them.
like they have security.
We got robbed by Emperor Palpatine.
Even if
No,
I-
it's like they call the police and they're like, "Do you know what the guy looked like?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we know exactly
Yeah.
what the guy looks
You
like."
see Star Wars?
Yeah, you ever seen? They call that one,
So
and then
silly.
they're just like, "Okay, can you give a description of the perp?"
He's
And
like,
they're
okay,
You ever seen Star Wars?
Yeah.
You just immediately they're like, "Yeah,
Mad Grandpa with the lightning.
yeah."
Oh,
they're like, "Oh,
really?
that guy."
Oh
Is-
yeah, it's the night where the yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what you're talking about.
So he escorted me to the bathroom. I did a crappy job of washing my face because I was like, I don't want to make everyone late. They're waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I still had so much on like the edges of my face
And
and
it's
stuff.
that like waxy,
Yeah,
crappy
waxy,
stuff.
dude. And it was only after that and after the movie that we got on the news. So I had already
Right.
washed my face.
Oh,
So it was
Horrible.
even worse. And you know what else, dude? I think I had snuck these in. I wasn't planning on using them in the theater. I should have, dude. Those dirt bags. I had blue silly string. So on the news,
lightning.
I come out, but we choreographed this whole thing. I
Yeah.
come out behind everyone, and I don't have the face paint anymore, but I had this robe that I made.
yeah.
And I pull out,
Like
it's
Dwight.
right here hanging in the closet, actually. I pull out these silly string and like lightning.
that's awesome.
Dude, it's so stupid.
That's awesome.
But it was the best. But
yeah,
they ruined it.
the news anchors like talking about everyone coming out for Star
Yeah.
Wars, and then we're like fighting each other in the background.
Yeah, and then
That's
he
awesome.
joined in. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was cool.
Uh-huh.
It was cool. It was cool.
At least the news anchor was.
yeah,
cool.
at least the news anchor was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, what brought on that conversation?
Because I was talking about how Rogue One
Oh,
is
right.
basically the same story
yeah.
as
yeah.
this game.
So, do you guys know who's who on the Noble team?
I
No.
know, but I could describe all of them.
Let's hear it.
So there's the blue guy who has like the buzz cut hair,
Uh-huh.
and he sacrifices himself
Mhm.
in the helicopter to destroy the big
The
hanging
scarab,
locker
The
thing.
big
I think
The
it's what
scarab.
they call it.
He
Yeah.
has the extra stuff on his armor.
Yeah, he was
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yes.
Then I think
do you
that
know his name?
Noble One,
Oh yeah, yeah. That he has another name too, but
Mark.
yes. Carter.
Jerry?
Oh, Carter. It
Yeah.
was-
No, Gerald.
Yeah.
Almost.
So, I actually thought that one of them's name was Mark. Then there was Noble 2, who was the guy with the cool face thing.
Incorrect.
Noble 5 was the guy
Um,
with the cool face paint.
No.
Noble 3. Sorry, I meant Noble 3.
No.
Noble 4.
Yes.
Okay.
You narrowed it
The
down
last
for
one.
yourself.
So Noble 4 was the guy with
Uh-huh.
the cool like skull on his
Yeah, the
face mask
carving
thing.
of the.
And he died by sacrificing himself in the destruction of that what's it called? The
big
Covenant ship?
Incorrect.
No, he gets stabbed in the back by what are they called? The big guys that when you hit them they go
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
elite.
elites.
the elites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
zealots.
yeah, one of the guys stabs him in the back and he's like, "Yeah, you want some?" And then he takes him
Yeah,
and throws him
so
over the cliff.
cool.
So cool. I was pretty sad when I saw
Yes.
him die. And then there's Noble 2, which I think is the girl with
Yep.
with the robot arm.
Yep.
And she just gets like
Oh,
shotted
by
like
the-
out of nowhere.
the
Boom.
needler rifle.
She gets
or
sniped.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just through the
Right
head,
through the
man.
head. It's kind of cool because it's like so realistic. It's like there's heroism, but it's like you die.
The thing that
You
made
know?
me really sad about
It just
every
happens.
every time that somebody like died, it was just like the Spartans were so numb to it. That's what really got me.
They knew they had to keep moving.
They had to keep moving. So like there was that one time when Carter is like flying around in the thing. And he's like, I'll take out that scarab. And he's like, you don't have enough ammunitions on you. And he's like, but I have enough mass. And then
like, see you on the other side.
Yeah, and then Noble whatever's just like, understood, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, hit him hard or something like that. And I'm just like, dang, dude, these guys are just like, yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do. I think that he was already wounded.
Oh yeah, it shows him like he's all bloody and he's shot through and he's still just trying to distract the Banshees.
Yeah, dude, it was that was honestly pretty dope.
Yeah.
You know,
dude.
When Noble 2 died, I was like, that's kind of weird. Like she just dies out of the blue. But then I noticed, oh, this is a trend. Everybody's gonna die but me. You know? And so then every time that they died, I was just like what heroism, you know?
They did a really good job of laying that out.
I love the...
No, they did. And you did.
I love the set pieces too. Like I was just enjoying the art of it. So after Noble 2 dies, and then you just get the music and the long shot of them standing there.
Yeah,
with, like,
and they carry her out
in city,
and they like make the purple flare and like put it out, and they're just standing there. I think that it's what city is that?
I think it's New Alexandria.
That's what I thought. I thought it was New Alexandria.
Yeah, the white one with where Boardwalk, the map comes from. Yeah. So, do you guys know who Noble 3 is? Do you remember?
Does he die really early on?
No, you don't. You don't actually see him die.
I don't even remember who that is.
I don't remember either.
That's ironic because he's the sniper. June is his name.
June.
The sniper. The marksman. Right? Because there's that mission, I think it's called Nightfall, where you're like walking on a cliffside with June.
Oh, I remember him. He never had a helmet on.
Maybe.
Or maybe he did. I really liked him. He was cool.
So, the way that each of these characters die is actually really ironic. Like, so Noble One's name is Carter. Carter sacrifices himself for the team. He's the leader of Noble Team. Noble 2, Kat, she's like communications and like she was dealing like trying to fix the technology, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she just gets shot in the head.
Never understand anything she's saying. Like, I know the words that are coming out of her mouth, but she's like, we need that retcon.
Oh, yeah. For the vocabulary.
Yeah, for the civilian drop ASAP.
Yeah, the jargon.
And I'm just like, am I supposed to follow that? I feel like
You're like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. it's like when you were a kid.
I'll just keep driving a mongoose.
You know the first time that you, like, got to, like, the adult table at Thanksgiving? And you're just so lost.
You're like, yeah, my mortgage. And and you're like, just nodding. And you're like,
yeah. And they're like, I refinanced and I got, 15 years off. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
You're like, nice.
Yeah, good for you, I guess.
So one...
They're like, my APR went up. I'm like, good. They're like, no, bad.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
One thing about Kat...
You can't keep... Yeah, I'm just going to stop encouraging
She
him.
is the worst driver.
Oh,
she's the only woman on the team. I don't know why they did this. But did you guys ever get in the vehicle that she was driving?
Yeah. I couldn't tell who was driving, I guess. I wasn't paying attention to that. I just remember I get in the back.
Because you want to be the
gunner. And I'm waiting for someone to drive,
No, John has a squeaky burger.
Yeah, and I'm going to steal it from
and Kat is a bad driver, but like any of the AI driving, the NPC is so bad, dude.
I have many points.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. So June is the sniper. You don't see him die. He just disappears. Because I think her name is Dr. Halsey, right? The scientist lady.
Yeah.
He goes with her to protect her after they crush the underground bunker where they found Cortana.
I remember that, yeah.
That's the last time you see him.
That's right.
So she shows up later and she's like, he's gone.
Oh, okay.
So he disappears because he's supposed to disappear. That's the ironic part of his ending of his life.
What's
like he's supposed to be secretive, sneaking around, sniping, and he just disappears. You don't see him die. Emil, he gets stabbed, and it's super cool because he has an energy source through him, and he still like twists around, and he's just swinging fists.
It's so cool.
And it's ironic because he's the knife guy, right? He's always sharpening his knife.
Yeah.
And he dies by the blade.
About that.
Yeah. George.
It's spelled like Jorge.
It's spelled, right? but they call him
They
George.
call him George. It's fine.
He's the heavy weapons guy.
Buddy,
Hey, don't
he
scratch.
wants the water bottle.
Yeah. Dirtbag.
It's like, I'm thirsty.
Golly, he just doesn't want his own water. It's the same water.
Yep.
So, do you guys remember how George dies?
No.
Is he the one that sacrifices himself on the ship?
Yeah.
Explosion.
He has to manually trigger the
Explosion.
bomb on the Covenant cruiser.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that scene is super cool because he
Kicks
just...
you out of
Yeah,
the
he
ship.
gives you a handshake and then he just picks you up, carries you over,
Yep.
drops you.
Was he also the one that, or who was the one that like goes like free spacewalking out across the, like you're in orbit of like a planet and he gets out and he kicks off of the ship and just starts like floating across. That was a really cool shot.
Oh.
Because you're looking down on the planet and you see him from a bird's eye view. I mean, a really high bird's eye view. You're in orbit, but you're seeing him from above. You just slowly see him going over across.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Wasn't there like a love interest? Was there any love interest, or was I just so lost?
I think people thought that Kat and Carter,
That's what I
they were
thought
always
too.
butting heads, so it was like...
Yeah.
There's
flirting.
Yeah. There's a super famous Halo 2 moment where he flies a Covenant bomb through space and lands it on a ship, but you get dropped out of the Covenant cruiser. I don't remember any other part where you're free in space or anyone is. But yeah, the sad thing about... So he's a heavy weapons guy. He dies from an explosion that he triggers.
Yeah.
The sad thing about that is he died thinking he saved the planet. Because that was the only Covenant cruiser they knew about.
Right.
Immediately, the cutscene is more show up. A whole other fleet.
Yeah, that was
super sad.
That was super sad, but then I remember Carter saying later, like he died thinking that he saved the world.
Yeah,
and he's like, that's what we can, all of us can only wish for.
Yeah.
Which is true.
And he wasn't going to go out any other way. He's like, I'm not leaving Reach.
If the last thing you think you're doing is saving everybody, even if you don't save everybody, doesn't matter.
And he was like the softie too, who like helps that civilian who's afraid.
Speaking Hungarian or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Probably
speaks
the
Hungarian.
Reach language.
No, it says in Hungarian.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
know that
cool.
either.
Yeah. So, sorry guys,
know
but you know, burst your bubbles.
So Noble Six is who you play as.
Yeah.
He's Mystery Boy.
Yeah.
He's kind of the lone wolf.
Yeah.
Because he's the newest addition to the Noble team. When he joins in the first mission...
You're the chosen one.
Well, sort of. So we're about to tell you the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Because he joins the Noble team, and Carter literally tells him, hey, we're a team, leave that lone wolf stuff behind.
Yeah.
The last mission of the campaign
It's called Lone Wolf.
It's called Lone Wolf, and it's him just fighting waves of Covenant. You can't beat the mission, you die.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the game, I think it starts with him putting on his helmet. And in the last cutscene, after you're trying to kill this Covenant and you're dying, he takes his helmet off because it's all cracked. He sets it on the ground and the camera's still recording. And it never shows his face, but he's fighting and he's wounded and he's...
And the elite are all beating.
I really like that
beating
that when it comes to like the camera angles and stuff.
Oh yeah, the camera angles.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so artistically done to where they could have just put like, you know, like a Locky 2 sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, yeah, there's just a camera here and it doesn't matter. But like every once in a while they just like, for some reason they're like, there's intentionality behind like
the camera like exists in the world. Yeah.
And that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, no, that's that's a really cool part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's ironic because Carter's like, leave that lone wolf behind, and he is the last one alive.
Yeah.
And he dies because in the last mission you're using, I forgot what they call it, but you're using this huge gun where Emil died to shoot down Covenant ships while the Pillar of Autumn is taking off. So without Emil and Noble Six, Pillar of Autumn would have gotten destroyed, which was carrying Cortana. I don't know if I don't think Master Chief is on that ship.
Oh.
He obviously gets Cortana, and this leads into Combat Evolved, which Cortana is a Forerunner artifact, I'm pretty sure. And she helps them find the Halo Ring, which is a planet. And that's like the turning point in the war versus the Covenant. the war had been going on before. This is just the story of the war coming to Reach.
For everything you're saying right now, you could just tweak a couple words and it would be Star Wars lore.
Really?
Like, literally.
Yeah, the Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, they did it first.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
I mean, by they, I mean Halo.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, them finding the Halo ring is, like, the turning point in the war, because those were, like, the thing that the Covenant had. I think. I don't even know, really. Anyway, so, let's go through the missions a little bit.
Okay.
Mission 1, Noble Actual. That's where you start, and they're like, hey, there's some weird communications thing. Will you guys go check it out? It kind of felt spooky immediately. Like, you're kind of like, we don't know what we're going to come across.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of like abandoned. The people have left.
Yeah.
And you're just running through, and you're like, okay, this is what Reach is like.
Yeah.
The buildings are kind of uniform. And,
the different bases and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first introduction to the Noble team. You're kind of walking around. It was kind of spooky. You're just like, eventually you find the Covenant. And you're like, oh, this is... I mean, I played on normal difficulty or easy difficulty, I think. Because I just wanted to play through it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I just normal.
I played
Yeah.
on normal too.
Um,
I beat it on normal.
So that was like my only note from the first mission. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, I was saying there's this part in the first mission where like the rock music kicks in.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
Yeah.
That's when like
When the-
it gets
when the
serious.
stuff starts.
Yeah, the stuff
Yeah.
starts. And there is a really spooky part. I think it's in the first mission where one of the like you see the first elite with the sword. And he's just running right at you.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're like,
Yeah.
and trying to back
dude.
up. That part
So
was really
good.
spooky.
Yeah.
And then there's that cutscene where the elite. So I don't know if this is true or not, but there's that cutscene where you find the daughter of the of Dr. Halsey. That's the dead girl that you find, and there's like another civilian there with her.
I don't remember that.
And that's where George comforts that woman. They're trying to figure out who it is. Kat's trying to communicate with anyone. In that cutscene at the beginning, the elite, like, they back away into this door and close it, and they're trying to get away.
I remember that.
And I think in that moment, Emil is like, let's go after them. And Carter's like, no, like, let's focus on what's going on here. I think that zealot, that elite that backs away is the one that kills Emil. Like, he's the leader of his zealot squadron.
Really?
And he's the one that kills Emil. But Emil, I think, kills him too, right? So
If
that's
not, that
super
would suck.
interesting.
Yeah,
Because
that's
then it's
cool.
like, if Carter would have said, like, yeah, let's track him down, Emil might not have died.
Yeah.
Anyway. Any other things for mission 1?
No.
I had driving the forklift.
Yeah, I did. That was
So
amazing.
fun, man.
Driving the forklift.
I'm so glad you can do that.
Splattering emu. Or like
Oh
there was,
yeah,
like,
the ostrich thing,
the ostrich
emu,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
they're
dude.
just the funny things that I had.
Yeah, in the second mission, there's just so much funny stuff. Like that was when I realized I'm never letting Kat drive again,
Yeah.
or anyone. Like it's
The second
it's
mission?
too. Yeah, when
Yeah,
you're
the second
continuing.
mission was when I realized, like, wow, this AI is not very good.
No,
You know,
not
it
gonna try.
really aged itself. Because, like, the game looks good. Like, it still
Yeah, it
looks
still
good.
holds up. Yeah,
It
yeah.
still holds up. Fine. But there's just certain things to where, like, you know, and this was kind of before I got a feel for the game, but it was Winter Contingency, the second level, or the second mission, I should say, when I kind of just, I didn't know that to keep going forward, you just have to keep moving, right?
Mhm.
So I was in a warthog with Kat,
Mhm.
and she just stopped, and she wasn't getting out.
And you're
she
like,
just,
okay.
I was like, all right. So I just stayed
I
in there,
guess they're
and she was
coming.
like backing up and moving forward and backing up and moving forward
Mhm.
over and over, trying to get around this pillar.
Tiny rock.
Yeah, just trying to get around anything.
Uh huh.
And I just got out and started walking forward, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna need you. And I'm like, okay, I guess I triggered something,
Really?
you know? Yeah. So I just kept going. And then, that was really frustrating.
It's so funny because all you want is to be driven around and just gun down Covenant.
Yeah.
But they.
Or sometimes they'll just drive you right into a huge mass of enemies and stop.
And stop.
Yeah.
They hit a rock and they're like, oh. and
Yeah.
then moving back and forth,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my gosh, dude,
Yeah, like,
so bad.
They're probably
And the Covenant drivers are great. They know what they're doing.
yeah. I think that they probably should have set up like tracks that the AI would go on instead of just having like pathfinding algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, you need to get from here to here, and we have a pretty relatively good pathfinding algorithm. They can get there pretty good. Just make a track.
Yeah.
You know,
Any soldier
levels,
will know what
these
to do.
levels are linear. Just don't
Just
try and
take
give
us-
me. Yeah.
I was so surprised that we never fell off a cliff, dude. Like, that's probably the one thing they made sure wouldn't happen is that they
Oh,
tried
you think
off
so?
a cliff.
You'd think so.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Keep going.
So, oh my gosh. That was the first time I had a DMR, I think, in the campaign. Love the DMR. One thing throughout the whole campaign was you had to be really conscious of your ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was either shooting with a DMR or like a power weapon or just beating grunts down.
That was
and
like
assassinating elites and stuff.
One of my favorite parts of the game, and it wasn't realized for me until one pivotal moment in Oni Sword Base, which is the third mission, which if we're ready to go to right now, are we ready to go to that yet?
I have one more vehicle to talk about.
But I'll just say that there was one pivotal moment, and I'll talk about it.
Okay.
But after that, the whole game changed for me.
Really?
And it was this beautiful, like, it got me into wanting to play the game like all the other games.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
And the campaign of all the other games.
Wow. Well, we will, dude.
And it's just the weapons system.
Okay.
It's so polished. It's really, really good. I really, really like it, and we'll talk about it in Oni Sword Base. Keep going about the vehicles.
I think I found one of these during Winter Contingency mission. Mm-hmm. By the way, Winter Contingency is when they said the Covenant are on Reach, but we don't want everyone to know about it because then there will be just mass hysteria.
Yeah,
I didn't pick up.
Oh, I didn't either. I had to watch so many.
Okay,
videos.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No. I wanted to at least have it down, but I didn't get that from the thing. So that's what Winter Contingency was, where they were like, okay, we're going to try to stop the Covenant, but we don't want everyone to know about it because otherwise things are going to go haywire. Yeah, which makes sense.
Did you have anything for
the second one?
Yeah.
No, nothing special for that
I'm
one.
so sorry to all the listeners.
I know, you and I are just coughing up a storm.
It's like I don't know. It's like my body's just trying to reject all the crap that's been stuck in my lungs.
Yeah,
so.
and the coughing ain't the way to do it, but
here
we are.
I'm trying, Justin.
I'm
trying not to.
I'm not even trying. So the Gauss cannon, I think it's what it's called. This is one of my favorite vehicles in all of Reach.
Okay, fine.
There are warthogs that instead of a turret, there's 3 types. One is the turret, right? The machine gun.
Yep.
Another shoots like 6 rockets, like 3 out of each side it can lock on. I like that one too, but my favorite is the Gauss cannon. It's like a rail gun, is that what it's called? Where it's just one big shot.
Yeah.
That's like very quick.
I didn't even get to use that.
Oh, dude, that's like, I like the Scorpion, but sometimes I pick that. It's just the Scorpion's tougher, obviously. Like that's more vulnerable. But I've gone on frenzies just if I have a good driver. It's really hard to hit because it's like the tiniest hitbox thing.
Yeah.
But it kills players instantly, and it blows up vehicles in 1, 2, or 3 shots. Wow. And it has a really slow rate of fire.
Yeah.
It's just
okay.
Like, dude, so good. One of my favorite vehicles of any video game ever.
Yeah.
Did you just stick with that through the whole campaign?
I mean, I wish, dude.
Yeah.
I think that was the only one I found.
That mission.
Yeah, as far as I could. Eventually, they're like, "Hey, get out, let's go."
Yeah. But they do that on purpose. They're like, "You've had your fun.
Yeah.
It's time to go inside now."
One thing I did notice, even as early as Mission 2, was just how dynamic the campaign is. And I like Mission 2, like the first few missions are dynamic, but it gets like way more than I even knew.
Yeah. Like
all the different levels and experiences you get later on. But it just keeps you moving really well.
Yeah.
And it's like
there wasn't a lot
scenery's always changing.
Like stale moments.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was always like it has this really, really satisfying sort of, big wave of enemies. You hit a checkpoint, you walk, you feel the atmosphere of the area, big wave of enemies, you hit a checkpoint. Now you're in this room, and it gives you time
defend
to
this, right? It's push here,
gives you a pause.
This,
That's one thing that the developers, I learned they wanted to focus on is giving you a break so that you just didn't get like burnt out.
Winded, yeah.
And
Seriously.
it worked.
100%.
You can walk through, just enjoy the scenery, and the planet Reach is huge. So
I was telling Justin this, but there was times when I would like I knew that the checkpoint was right there, and there was a big wave, and I like got right up to the end of it, and then there was like one hunter that just got me like every time, right? And so after like 3 times of doing that, I would just pause, take a break, and play Link's Awakening on my Game Boy. I don't know if you've ever played that game before. And just in doing that, I mean, this just speaks to A, how bad I am at Halo, and B, how fast Link's Awakening is. But I beat Link's Awakening while I was playing Halo Reach, which was really cool. But also super good game. But yeah, there was a lot of times, and then I would like get a part of a dungeon done. I'd be like, all right, back to Reach, and then I would just destroy.
Dude, that's
because
awesome.
I was focused. It was good. It was really, really good
That's
pace.
sweet. I think I'm ready to move on to Sword Base.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I don't know if Calvin has anything to say about Oni Sword Base. Do you have anything to say about it?
I don't know if anything specific. I didn't write any notes, but there might be stuff that I think of or that comes up.
Okay.
So ONI is Office of Naval Intelligence. That is where Dr. Halsey is, and you meet up with her. It was her daughter that died, and apparently they were gonna have more of that story, but they had to cut it. So it's kind of like they say, like, unfortunately, your daughter died, and she just blows right there. And she's like, anyway, so I found this artifact. I didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah, I didn't even know
it's hard
that
to follow.
she had a daughter.
I know.
Yeah.
Your daughter died. Okay, let's go.
She's like, oh man.
Because like knowing the way that they talk about it, they're like, yeah, you had some kindred on the Op 6, and they were terminated during this time.
Kat.
And then she's just like, affirmative. We're gonna be going through
Roger.
going through the retcon.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just oh my gosh, it was so hard for me to figure that out.
Yeah, immersive, but
yeah. So I played the first 2 missions.
Mm-hmm.
Then I took a break from the game for a while to get some other stuff done.
How long? Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
No, so I played. This was like a month ago that I played the first 2 missions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to take a break because I had some other stuff that I had to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked it up again at Oni Sword Base.
And
okay, I was
between then,
halfway through it.
You and I had played multiplayer. Is
yes,
that true?
between then we had played multiplayer. So the weapon system hadn't really clicked for me yet. I was kind of like really like holding on to my weapons. And I know this is pretty embarrassing, but I was trying to defeat the hunters. Okay, because you're like going into the sword base and there's 3 hunters in there.
Uh-huh.
And I just couldn't figure it out. It was really frustrating me. It felt like a huge wall. And I think that they did that on purpose.
Throwing grenades, doing nothing, shooting them.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was super frustrating. And then I'm walking in there, I'm figuring out everything. And every time that I die, I have like, because of the save point that I had, the checkpoint that I had like a plasma grenade and a needler with no ammo in it. So I had to run back to find something, go back, try, and I would die every single time. So like every try was taking me like 5 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's like 5 minutes before I even reach the hunters.
But it takes a lot of time, like a lot of tries.
Yeah,
for the hunters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was walking in, and I was going to do something, and then I walked back and hid behind a pillar. And there was like a weapons outpost.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. And you were like, if I had only known.
I had never seen one of those before.
Okay.
And then you're like, wait, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And I knew what they looked like now. And I knew what the Covenant ones looked like. And I knew what mine looked like. Mm-hmm. And so there was a shotgun in there and a lot of grenades. And there was also a health pack. I didn't know the health packs existed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I pick up a shotgun and I go in there. And within like 2 tries, I take them all out. Right? Because I'm able to get behind him and get him with a shotgun. And I'm like, okay, shotgun is my new favorite weapon in this game. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's changed it for me.
The other thing, I was struggling with the hunters too, pretty much the whole campaign until later on. And then I found out you could hit them twice in the back. With a melee too.
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
You can just melee them twice and they're dead. And I was like, what?
You just have to get their fleshy spine.
No way. Yeah.
So what I tried to tell you, You can just bait them into like swinging at you.
Yeah.
And then you just walk around them and just hit them in the orange.
When you
part.
said hit him in the orange part, I think you meant shoot him in the
them.
orange
Right.
part.
That
Yeah,
works
see, that's
too.
what I thought.
Nothing
too.
else works really. You can get their
Yeah.
neck too a little bit, but like
Even
other
with
than
the,
that,
what? I'm sorry. What's it called? It's not the sniper. It's the
DMR.
The DMR. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
I'll remember it. What does
Dude,
DMR
it's
stand for?
fine. Oh, I know what it stands for. It's
I have no idea actually.
The last one's probably
something
revolver.
marksman rifle.
Oh, rifle. Okay.
Revolver.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I meant rifle. So I remember like I had the DMR and I was right there, under their neck, and it never worked out. It was
Mhm.
really frustrating. So I always just focused on their back. But yeah, it was like once I figured out like the weapon system. Also, it's so messed up that the hunters don't drop anything for you to pick up. They don't drop grenades. They
Oh,
don't drop
yeah.
a weapon.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you could take their big
big gun.
Dude.
That would be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
I've never
Like even
even
if you
thought
could rip
about
off
that.
their arm and use that. Like,
Yeah.
that's more like Doom stuff. But like
That's
Yeah.
so funny. I've
anyway,
never
that was like
thought
a
about
huge
that.
revelation that I had in that.
Yeah.
And then you're like out of ammo, and you just walk up and
Yeah.
get more ammo.
Get more
Yeah,
ammo.
that's pretty huge.
Incredible,
Yeah.
dude. Incredible.
Yeah, it's nice, dude.
Yeah.
I'd never even thought about that. Yeah, the weapons are. I mean, they had it down pat by Reach. You know,
Yeah.
they had made all these other games.
Yeah.
Oni Sword Base. I don't think I have anything else to say about that. We will return to Oni Sword Base later, though.
Yeah, we will.
So, Mission 4 Nightfall. I think this is one that starts out with you and June walking on the cliff.
I love
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking cool, dude.
I love
That's a cool
sniping.
Sniping's
Yeah.
great.
Number one.
Yeah.
And being sneaky.
Did you guys know that if you walk up to just a regular Marine, you can take his weapon?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did that a lot.
I didn't do it a lot, but if they had a sniper, I'm like, you can have my assault rifle, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
taking
know
this.
that you can kill any old regular Marine?
Yep, I figured that
Yeah.
out.
I've splattered my teammates.
Mhm. Dude,
Killed
they're
them on
expendable,
accident
man.
and on purpose.
Yeah, they're expendable,
Yeah.
dude.
Definitely.
You can just beat them to death in front
Yeah,
of the other ones,
uh-huh.
and they can't.
There was
say
a lot of
anything.
times when I would kind of like lag behind them and kind of just let them go ahead of me as like meat shields. Because like going in, like, you know, there was
Oh,
one
no, dude.
specific level that there was like, oh, it's when you're on the ship
Okay.
and you're going through all those like winding hallways, and then it just opens up into that big control room,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many elites in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just getting overwhelmed, and I was like, I need like 4 dudes in front of me,
Yeah,
and then
you
I'm
guys
just staying
handle it.
behind them. Yeah, it was great.
Nah, dude, because I was a lot more confident,
Yeah, I'm not.
and so I just ran out, and I was like, I knew it only takes 2 or 3 hits to kill these guys with my elbow, so
Yeah.
I just was always front and center, just
Yeah,
going at
melee is so overpowered.
it. It's strong, dude.
Yeah,
Some of the elites and brutes would take like 4 or 5 though to take
Yeah.
down.
dang.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
And there's a sweet spot too, like one and in multiplayer you start to find that you can do it a little earlier than you think
Yeah, you can
and
lunge.
lunge a little farther.
Yeah.
So once you find that out, especially in
When your
multiplayer,
reticle turns red is when a melee will. Put you on 'em.
yeah.
Dude, melee. We'll do it. That's awesome.
You keep saying that, but melee.
It's melee.
Well, that's kind of like the.
It's
That's-
not called Smash Bros. Melee. It's called Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah, the game is called Melee.
It's spelt the same.
It's spelled the same, but it doesn't matter, you know.
I
I
think,
think
They
it
can't
does.
just monopolize that word. Is all I'm saying.
They're
What
not.
you're saying,
They're just
Calvin.
using the word the way that it is. They'd be like if you're saying like ultimate. I say ultimate, and they can't. They can't monopolize the word
Ultimate.
ultimate.
Yeah, they can't. And you can say ultimate however you want, dude, but it's melee. So go ahead, Calvin.
No, I don't have anything else.
Well, you
I
can.
just
I
am
mean, pick a
enjoying-
side at least.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, pick
kidding.
the side. I would say melee.
Thank you.
My goodness.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? Let's just keep moving on. Huh?
What's on the tip of the spear?
That's mission 5. I have a couple things for mission 4.
Oh,
though.
okay, sorry.
Nightfall, sniping. I think the point of that mission was destroying the spires.
Mm.
Was that it? Where like the
That's
spires had a
long
shield
mission.
and it kind of.
Did the hunters show up at the end of that one? Where you have to like protect that little
Oh yeah, I think there were hunters at
that
the
little
end.
base there.
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
this the one? I feel like this is the one at the end. you have to go up this really long.
Yeah, you go up the huge gravity lift. Yeah,
gravity
that
lift
one
up
was
to the top.
awesome.
And
There's
then
a guy
to
with
take
the
down the
sword.
shield.
Yeah.
You beat the guys there. You take down the shield because those things were like allowing Covenant to just come down onto the surface.
Yeah.
And I think they were blocking communications too. So I had to drop the shield so that we could destroy the spires. And then the ship that does it just gets blasted by a Covenant cruiser, like as soon as it destroys the spire. And it's like, ooh.
There's so many times in this game where it's like you're trying so hard to get one task done.
You do
and the
it.
second you get it done, like there was, when Emil, like blows up I think they call it a Corvette.
George, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a George. He blows that thing up. Yeah. And then as soon as you're flying away, like 12 of them show up and replace it. And you're just like, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
Now there's one less of us. I'm not going to be able to take this out.
Yeah,
you know?
Seriously.
And it's just like war, man. They're outnumbering you to an insane degree.
Yeah.
I thought it was the end of the campaign because I had no idea. Like, so when he sacrifices himself, I'm like, oh, we did it. Like, I fell into that trap too. Yeah. Where I was like, oh, this is the end of the campaign.
And you're like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you weren't even a third of the
way. I wasn't even close. Yeah.
And there's like so many of them.
Yeah, like a Star Wars scene.
And they're like, fall back, soldiers, fall back.
Yeah.
They're just like, great.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
All over that. So one other thing in Nightfall that I don't even remember was the giant gray things that have like 4 arms.
Yeah.
They're
those
like
things
big
Yeti scared me. They have like the big tusks on them,
and they have 4 arms, and they're like charging and just fighting.
And at first, I don't know if this happened to you guys, but one of mine, there's 2 of them. One of them killed the other one.
Really?
So I only had to deal with one.
Dude. Nice.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to see
scared.
if I could melee it or something.
Because like they take like maybe 3 shots and they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's not much. But I remember I was like, I had just got done fighting a hunter.
You're like, I finally got hunters.
And this thing is like considerably larger.
I mean, 4 times as big.
And I remember there was a time when it's like within smashing
distance,
running at you.
Yeah.
And I was stuck with a rock to my back. Like one of those big boulders. I was horrified. Horrified.
Yeah.
And then I remember I just got out my shotgun and boom, 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 and it died. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a lot of armor.
I was like, I can't wait for those to show up again.
But also when you see them, they're just destroying like grunts, I think.
They look like those, what are those things in Star Wars? Like the big orange things? Orange
things.
I don't know the
like
words. They're like Luke is in like a thing where he has to fight one, and they have like the chains around their neck, and they're just like these big tusked monsters.
Yeah. In Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Yeah.
Those are called Rancor.
Yeah, they look like Rancor.
Oh, that's right. They do.
Yeah.
They're just a little longer.
Yeah, a little lankier.
Anyway. Yeah, so those things are cool.
The end of this level with the spire with the big gravity lift or whatever, that's another really fun multiplayer map.
Yeah, there's a big team battle map where one of those you're fighting for control of one of those, or just a big team battle where that's there. And so you can go up. There's also other huge gravity lifts that will shoot you all the way up to it, and you're just flying. And when you have a sniper, dude, you're just watching someone trying to pick them off. You can't change
where you're sitting up there at the top waiting for people.
Yeah, and your teammate bumps you off.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. You're just falling forever.
That happened to us on what was it? It was Sword Base, where I don't remember what you said, but you were like and we were up on like a top ledge and you bumped me off. You were like, "Go defend us."
Yeah. You're like, all right, I guess I'm
going here now.
Someone's got to go, man.
Yeah, I couldn't even be mad about it. It was just funny.
Yeah. That's all I have about Mission 4 Nightfall.
That was a good mission. I remember like sitting up on the hill with June, and I don't like what's the point of like the thing that puts out like a clone of you? I thought that was a stupid armor.
It's Mirage. I don't know if you play Apex Legends, but
it's a lesser Mirage.
It distracts people, so
enemies will shoot at it.
Yeah.
So it kind of just like is like where are the enemies? throw out your
Just like a
hologram.
dummy.
You're bamboozling
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
So if you're fighting elite,
Did you guys use it?
throw that
No.
out? I did it a few times.
I only had sprint, and then the one mission where you had to have jetpack.
Yeah.
I
That was a good mission.
tried all of them throughout the campaign. So I did that one.
Yeah.
So I threw that out, go around an elite that's shooting it, and then hit him in the
Yeah.
back.
That's
you know,
pretry smart.
Stuff like that.
I
The
used to
bubble
use that in
shield is fun,
multiplayer. It
too.
gets it's so funny when it gets people in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you idiot.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten me before, and you shoot it, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm a freaking moron. Man. Now they know.
That's amazing, dude. But yeah, I just remember sitting up on that hill, just taking out elites with my sniper. That was super fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have really good memories just from playing this for like, I was so sick, dude. I was so sick.
You're like your eyes are like
My
half
eyes are
open.
crusted.
Yeah,
Clothes.
you're all bundled up.
Coughing. I was literally bundled up,
Really?
and but it was really fun, like playing
That's so
through
cool,
the
dude.
campaign, dude. I'll never
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm trying to close it. I'm not. Keep going.
Yeah. Mission 5 on the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
I don't remember what this
I don't
was.
remember that either.
I think.
Here, I'm on
Is
IGN
this
right
where
now.
we do the space battle?
I think.
Where
No, that's
where
the
is that?
next one.
That's the next one.
This might be where George dies, though.
Well, first we're shooting. We're in
Or is
a
that
ship.
earlier?
There's one where we're in a ship and we're shooting down stuff in space, and then
Oh,
we
yeah.
go into the ship. Like then we board the ship. So I don't know which one this is, but there is that. I thought it was kind of fun, where you're dog fighting and
Yeah,
destroying
that
all
one.
this space.
Oh,
I think
this
is the next
this
one.
is the one where you're in that multiplayer map, with like the big basin of water
Okay.
at the bottom.
The bronze shiny one.
Yeah, you're in that area. I
Okay.
don't. Nothing really memorable. This is the
Yeah,
first
I
time that
don't
you take
remember
out
anything
one of
specific.
those big anti-air guns.
Mm.
You have to get in, and shoot the crystal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that, so I just stood outside with the missile thing that gives you the 6 missiles.
Okay.
And I just shot the anti-air
Yeah, you're
gun
like, it's gonna come down
over and
eventually.
over and over, and then one of those freaking, I don't know what they're called.
Ghosts, the little purple vehicles that boost.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't a ghost. It was like the bigger purple vehicle that has the
the tank.
yeah,
Oh, the Wraith.
The Wraith.
the Wraith, and
The blue
that
bomb.
was so annoying.
It is
Those
very
things
annoying.
are strong.
And Kat would
yeah.
just sit right in front of one of those. It was so
She's
frustrating,
brave, dude. She's a brave woman.
Yeah,
So
that one was fine, I guess.
those wraiths, dude. There was the most times that I died was because I would always hijack a ghost. I don't know if you guys tried to hijack
Yeah.
vehicles. I was that's all I wanted to do was DMR, melee, and hijack. So I every time I would die, I would respawn, hijack a ghost. I would blast past the other ghosts, go forward, and there were revenants and wraiths. Revenant was like the red vehicles that shoot like a red thing, and they're a little quicker than wraiths, but they're bigger than ghosts. I would shoot forward, and I just wanted to hijack a revenant, but I could never get close to it, and I would die, and it was making me so mad. I was just trying and trying and trying.
I know. I felt like you could hijack a Wraith in multiplayer, but every time I tried, you just plant a bomb.
Yeah,
Or
you have
melee,
to. You either
so-
plant a grenade or melee, and then it's like this is already destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just
I
pull
tried
them
to.
out. That's the
Yeah.
problem. It's the same as scorpions. When you try to hijack a scorpion,
Oh, it does the same thing.
yeah, you just have to kind of wait for them to get out and then kill them and then take it. Otherwise, you damage it. And
Right.
yeah, it's kind of sucks how that works, but yeah, I don't really remember much else.
The next level,
Long.
the first part of it, very unmemorable.
Okay, what's the first part of it?
I don't remember.
Long Night of Solace.
Yeah, but that's the one where you get in the rocket.
In the
Oh,
ship.
at the end, you get in the rocket. Okay.
No, that's the first
The
half.
first beginning?
The first part of it, like you do like maybe 5 minutes of just shooting dudes, and then like, all right, get into the ship, and then
Oh,
you get into
yeah.
the ship, and then you go up, and then
we
the
played that.
second half
That's a
of the
multiplayer
episode,
map. Do you remember? That's where we played Dino Blasters.
Oh, that's
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
It shows how it's so unmemorable to me. But getting into the spaceship, I was like,
Valjean, hey, quit digging for gold.
it was
over there,
already
huh?
so cool to me that like blast off is happening. Like I'm getting in a rocket and I'm going into.
Oh
space.
yeah, because you're sitting there with George, right?
Yeah.
You're both like up facing.
yeah, looking up. Like, how
Yeah.
did that feel for you, Calvin?
Yeah, it
When
was
you-
great. It was
Wasn't that so
yeah,
cool?
it was so awesome.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty exciting. It's cool because like it's not just a cutscene. You have to walk up the little scaffolding
And you
ramps
get
thing.
in.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then you're like, I don't, because I love space, and like going into space is such like it'll never ever happen for me, but it's
You're
a dream
Buzz
of mine.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to like be in a rocket and like go to space. That'd be so cool. The G forces, man, just like right up like an elephant's on my chest, you know, just freaking going. And so like seeing that happen, and then like it was so cool the way that they did it, that they were like, all right, stage 2 detaching, and then
and the camera would like
the
follow.
camera was
the
camera was
too.
on the detached,
that was really cool.
like
so
rocket.
Cool. So it shows all of reach.
Yeah, it shows all of reach, and then it pans up to you, and then your boosters come on, and you just zoom out.
So sweet.
So cool. It's hard to describe. Like
no, we nailed it.
And then I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna go dock somewhere. And then it's like, oh, guess what? This is Star Fox now. You are in a freaking.
Exactly.
I blew my mind.
I didn't know that was
dude,
gonna happen.
I didn't even.
And I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
The space dogfight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
literally
fun.
Star Fox.
It's a good break from. Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
super
awesome,
good, dude. They did a really good job of that because I've played other games, not Star Fox, but other games and it's so hard to learn the controls, but it was really like
really easy.
intuitive. Is that the word? Like, yeah, and so fun, dude. Locking onto the Banshees, trying to like guide your shots.
And I like how they had the little target in front of the Banshees.
Yeah.
And like if you pointed at that,
that's what it was.
That would like bend it, you know?
So good, dude.
How to lead it.
Yeah, lead it. Yeah, exactly. And then there's like 3 different ships that you have to fight when you're out there. Do you remember what they are?
I don't remember what they're called, but I do remember that there's different tactics for each. Right?
Oh yeah, like so there's the Banshees.
You have to get down their shields, and then you can.
The
destroy
bigger ones
them.
have shields.
Yeah.
You have to. Oh yeah, you have to bomb them after you shoot down the shield.
Yeah.
Was that this? I think that was the same mission where you had to destroy like the back of an enemy ship. Like you had to destroy the thrusters or something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You had to break all 4 of them.
Yeah.
That took me forever because you have to. You're shooting as you're getting closer and closer, and they have to turn around,
go back.
Yeah. But it was fun, dude. Doing all that space stuff was fun. So that's the one where George dies, where you board the Covenant cruiser.
I have a couple notes on that. I wrote,
me too.
Like, I'm getting into a rocket now. Epic. And then I said the views are incredible. When you're up there, the views are incredible of like just looking over reach. And then I put I'm in the spaceship in orbit. That was so cool to me. Anyway, go on.
No, go ahead, Calvin.
Well, I was gonna say, once you dock, I love that the sound gets dampened.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
And the gravity is like 0 gravity too, right? Like you're jumping and
I just love
for a while.
Yeah, I love that feeling when you're on the ship that you can't hear everything as well. It's all muffled and then you're going through to infiltrate the ship.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
So sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was cool because there was a cutscene before this where you and maybe George, maybe Emil are trying to convince Carter, like, tell him that we should board the ship and destroy it ourselves.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's never going to go for that. And they're like, no, do it. And so he does. And of course the guy's like, go ahead, soldier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you do, and when it works, sort of, you lose a man. But
yeah, it sucks, dude.
Yeah, that's the first death, I think.
Yeah, I remember Kat, like, is saying a bunch of stuff. And I just didn't understand any of it. But, like, I couldn't even mimic, like, the sort of stuff she was talking about. It was so just, like, army jargon.
Army plus IT.
Sci-fi plus, like, all this stuff. And I was, like, just barely following. And then, like, the dumb guys would be like, so you're telling me we're going to board a spaceship? And it's like, awesome. I guess we're boarding a spaceship.
Like, thank you.
I didn't know that's what was happening.
I'm like, oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Tell me that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the plot line with George was sweet.
Yeah.
So, the next mission, one of my favorites. Exodus. You start in New Alexandria.
That one was
awesome. You just have your pistol.
If there was a city that I could live in on Reach, it'd probably be New Alexandria. It just seems like a utopia. Everything's white and beautiful. And it's like...
That's when the kamikaze grunts show up for the first time.
I think so, yeah. Because you're going through like the infrastructure of the city, like beneath.
Yeah.
And that's really cool too, because you get to see both sides of that city.
And when you turn on your night vision.
Yeah.
And you're under there. Oh, dude.
And they're like,
I also
Grenades.
think that that's the first. New Alexandria is the first time that the brutes show up, and that
Yeah,
was a
it is.
huge shift for me.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, these are gorillas. I'm
Yeah.
not ready to fight these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brutes are so cool, dude. I
Yeah.
love them. I always
They're
just beat them
fun.
to death.
I
but-
love their gun. I love.
Also, it's funny because with the DMR, if you shoot them, it's like 4 headshots and their helmet pops off, and then it's like 2 more and they die. So you always know, like, you can just hit. Maybe it's less than that,
Oh,
but
okay.
like you just shoot them a few times, their helmet pops off, and then you
Get
kill
them
them.
some more.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I like them because they seem like a more difficult enemy, but they're not as difficult
They're
as the other
satisfying.
ones. Yeah, yeah.
They're satisfying because you feel like you're doing something. And then my favorite thing is, what's the weapon called that they have?
Spiker.
Spiker. Yeah.
So you
Pretty
get
sure.
the spiker, and there's so many brutes, and they all have a spiker. And so then
Just
you,
full ammo.
you're full of ammo the entire time, and it's like 120 freaking
Yeah,
rounds.
you're like, finally,
yeah,
I have enough,
And
then
I
it
can
goes
just
away.
sprint at them and and melee.
Yeah.
And melee.
and then you
Just get 'em
reload,
all.
and then you just walk over them, and get all your ammo back.
Did you guys ever pick up a gravity hammer?
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
mission?
Oh
definitely.
yeah.
I would only melee the guys with the gravity hammer because they do this like 1-2 step swing
Yeah,
thing.
they kind of have some moves. Dude.
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah,
have some, like,
they're smooth.
salsa.
They're
like
kind of
that.
smooth with it.
Yeah, dude. Literally.
Yeah, and so if you can evade that, they
Yeah.
are, dude. So the dancing with his hammer.
And then they do like a little spin.
Yeah, that's true. They twirl.
Yeah.
They finish with a.
Yeah.
I always would just try to beat them down. I think sometimes you can assassinate them too. There are some enemies you can't assassinate. I don't think you can assassinate hunters. I wish you could because the
That would be
animation would be
so
so cool,
They're
dude.
crawling up.
Yeah, just I get him in the neck. Yeah. So then there was that part of the same mission where you had to put on a jetpack. That was
like that
another
part.
part where I died so many times because I was like, I'm
Falling off.
hijacking a banshee. I would go as high as I could and try to time it, and it just
then
wouldn't
miss.
let you. I don't think you can because if you could have, I would have, and then I'd fall. Right.
Yeah.
I tried so many times, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, nope, I'm trying again.
There was a couple times during this mission that I just kind of got stuck at one spot, and that sucked.
It's
But,
kind of hard to know where to go and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's also just sad seeing all these civilians like
there's so many
just
civilians.
trying to
It's-
escape and die.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah, pretty rough. The end of the mission is when you get on the Falcon, right?
And then you go to New Alexandria, and you're going to all those different places. You're like flying
Yeah.
around in the Falcon. That was so.
You have
I
to
see,
land
I
there,
see,
help
yeah.
the people
That's right.
evacuate.
Yeah.
Um,
That one was fun. That you got to go into each of the different buildings. and
yeah.
Shoot
So-
down the turrets and
I
the
think before that,
shield generator stuff.
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
you're on the turret in the Falcon, and then later you drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was on the turret, I couldn't help it. But like this lady was giving the speech. She's like, we were all told to evac. Some of us just don't like leaving a job half finished. You know, someone's saying that
Yeah.
as I'm just gunning down humans with it. I'm just like, I mean, they're right there.
Yeah.
Like, will they die? Let's
Yeah.
find out. You know? Yeah, it made me laugh.
Yeah.
But it is sad because at the end, like, everyone's just, they're all like, I've got 600 souls on board that need medical attention. We need to evac,
Yeah.
and everyone needs to get out, but no one can.
That
They
kinda
all need
reminded-
help.
That reminded me of Avengers. I forget which one it was
Oh.
with Quicksilver.
Oh
when
yeah.
they're trying to
Age
get
of
everybody.
Ultron.
Yeah, when they're trying to get all the civilians
Mm.
onto the thing. That part's so freaking sad. But
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah.
They did a good job because it's just so overwhelming, and you're like, I mean,
it is overwhelming because you're gunning in the just fall over, Valjean. But you're gunning in the Falcon, and it felt like they never gave you enough time to get all the enemies that they're showing you.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
Did you
fly
notice that?
over and
Just
try to
keep
hit them.
going.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
trying to get them, and then you're just
You're
like,
"Wait."
and
Yeah.
I guess the
But,
civilians
hey,
just die.
They were better drivers than Cat and the others.
Oh,
so-
100%. Because
so
they were on a
that's fine.
track. I
Yeah,
can guarantee
exactly.
they were on a
They
track.
were on a track for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, did he just paw the space bar to
He
turn on?
booted up the computer next to us.
I'm sorry, buddy. You gotta wait till we're done to play your games, okay?
Yeah. No, it's just that I'm hiding all of his really loud squeaky toys up here.
Oh, so he's
What does he like to play?
He played Dead Cells, right?
Coolmathgames.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely cool math
Yeah.
games.
Minesweeper.
He's learning.
is
He's
pretty
doing
good.
free rice right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember free rice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Donnie,
Yeah.
our coworker, made a really good point of that. He was like, if you have the rice to give them, why do I need to play? Like, if it's free, just give it to the people. I don't need
Yeah.
to learn math.
Right.
Like,
They're
what am
like-
how is my learning math actually?
my game playing.
They're like,
is-
tough month, you know, we have
is
100
generating
tons of rice.
And
but
nobody's playing
nobody's
free
playing,
rice.
So.
Yeah,
We're
we
just
can't
gonna-
give it to them.
Yeah, we're just gonna hold it here
We
until
need
people
grade
play our
schoolers
games.
to continue
Yeah.
playing games.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
So I think it's split up, but I think Mission 8 is called New Alexandria, and that's when you start flying it from spot to spot.
That was really cool.
I see.
And-
I was a little too early, huh?
Dude, for some reason these two missions, like the little things the soldiers would say, really got to me. Like one time we were fighting a brute, and this lady was like, she was like, "Brutes," and then she was like, "Stay back, you stinking bastards."
Yeah,
I was like,
there's so
"Jeez,
many
dude."
of them, dude.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh goodness."
Like there was a couple times when she said something like "Stay back, you stinky son of a," and I'm just like,
Oh,
you already
yeah,
said
yeah.
that, just in a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
way.
yeah.
And it's like, we
come
get it,
on,
they
man.
smell bad. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
And then like Covenant Banshees would show up, and she'd like call them rats.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, just do your job.
Yeah, just do your job.
fight it. We
That
all
lady
hate
was
them.
definitely in the booth. And she recorded a bunch of stuff, and they programmed the entire game, and they're like, crap, we have tons of audio files from this girl. Let's just put him in this
Throw
one
him in.
level.
Yeah.
Throw him in.
We're like, sorry, your character wasn't in any of
Yeah.
them.
She's like, pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
So then the package, is that the one where...
That's Mission 9.
That's... Oh, do you have more stuff about
Just
Alexandria?
one more thing,
Okay, yeah.
I think. There was a really cool area where you had to fight more hunters. It was like a nightclub thing. Like it was like
that one.
purpley.
It was
I
really
like
cool. Sorry, I ran past the hunters, activated the thing, and ran out.
I don't blame you. I love fighting hunters.
I killed one hunter. There was 3 hunters in there. I killed one of them
Mm-hmm.
on my last legs. And I was like, dude, I can't do 2
there was more than 3, I think. There was
Okay.
like 5. I mean, there was that place was that
So
was a
many.
hunters
Yeah.
nightclub.
Yeah, they were all just
Yeah.
bumping in there.
Yeah. Dude,
Listening to some friggin'...
I killed all the hunters except one of them. I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, I'm done with this. And then one of the soldiers was like, "We got this under control, Lieutenant." But they're literally like in the back, like hiding, just standing there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you don't,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
This place
You're
was
saying,
crawling. with
I
hunters.
have this under control.
Yeah.
They're cornered by a hunter. We got it.
Yeah,
we got it.
We
soldier.
got it. Don't worry, Lieutenant. Yeah, so stupid.
Classic.
So the package.
The package is the one where I'm trying to remember. You're going to get Cortana,
You go
and
back
so
to
you're
Sword Base.
defending Halsey's. Oh, you go back to Sword
Oh.
Base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you go under it.
So we drive. I think we drive a tank.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
I
so.
remember.
Up to
Is that the
Sword
one with the
Base.
yeah,
scorpion?
And then you have to
Okay,
get out.
the
so
scorpion, yeah, it was really fun.
Didn't know about the Scorpion.
I don't know if
I did the entire thing in a Wraith, and I had a really hard time getting past that area where there's tons of turrets up on the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
I was having such a hard time with it. And so then I just backtracked. I'm like, I gotta find something. And I go back to it and I find the Scorpion.
And you're like,
Way
oh.
easier. Yeah.
Way easier.
Because you can snipe with that.
Oh,
thing
yeah.
from
Oh, yeah.
long range.
Long
so-
Way
range.
better than
That
the
was
Wraith.
so
Yeah.
satisfying.
The Wraith is doing
so
the math and the-
yeah.
It's fun.
So
but,
satisfying. And yeah, that one, I was stuck there for a while. I was like, what do I do? Like,
Mm.
every time that I'm getting there, I'm just getting blown up by these, like basically turrets on the mountains that have
Uh-huh.
hunter rounds. You know, just hit me with those green explosive
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
dude. Ridiculous. And then I would just
Difficult.
with the Scorpion, I would get where I could just see him. Boom. Oh, it was so
Yeah,
satisfying.
fun.
And I
around the
actually
corner.
tried to fit the Scorpion
Oh, me too.
into the
I think
under
everyone
part.
does.
Because
yeah.
I was like,
you
I
got
want to
it.
take this with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not giving this
But
up.
no. And then you go underground, you see this big... It was really cool. She was like this
Underground
alien...
cavern.
Yeah, this alien thing, not Covenant. Like, it's not Covenant, it's not
Mhm.
human, it's just this big thing. And so then you have to set up these turrets.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
And
you
then,
have to activate them.
Mhm.
It shows you their like health
yeah.
as waves are coming.
So, Calvin, while you were playing this part, do you remember the big laser gun?
Oh yeah.
What did you do with the laser gun?
I think the laser I just used on I can't remember what the vehicle's called.
Just a
They're
big
not-
flying
they're
one
not
that
ghosts.
comes down.
No, they're
The Wraith.
the ones that are on the ground. Is it
Ghost?
those?
The
Is
red
that
ones
Ghost?
or the small purple.
The small purple ones that
Yeah,
are
the ghosts.
only on the ground. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just use those on the ghosts.
Uh-huh. Did you hijack any?
Nope. I pretty much stayed in that little
Me too.
In the area?
that little area and was just
shooting.
DMR.
What?
Yeah.
What
Oh, there was a ton of
happened-
ammo there. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
that part was really fun. I did switch to the gun. I like this one grenade launcher that you hold it down and the grenade will like skip and then you let go of the trigger and it explodes.
What?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, on the right hand
I
side.
thought you
in
just
that
click
level,
it and it goes. I didn't
Yeah.
know you could control.
There's this grenade
Wow.
launch. Yeah, so you.
It's like the
Yeah.
and it bounces.
It bounces. So if you hold it down, it'll
No way.
sit there. You let go and it explodes.
Wow.
I have
So
to try
you
that.
could hit it and let go and it'll explode faster, or let it drop to an area and then
This is why we need
explode.
a resident Halo Reach
Halo
master.
guy, yeah.
There's also a part in the campaign you operate a turret in one of the helicopters that does the same thing.
Yeah, I remember
So,
that.
Yeah, it does that same.
You remember when that was in the campaign?
I can't.
I feel like I
remember.
remember that, but I don't know.
But yeah, that's fun in the Scorpion too because, or not Scorpion, in the helicopter. What are those
Mhm.
called?
The Falcon?
Falcon. I just like that
The
mechanic.
control.
It'll bounce and
Yeah.
then explode.
Dang, I
So
didn't
I was
know
doing
that.
that. I was doing the DMR and throwing a bunch of grenades. But I stayed right in there.
So that's what I did too. And there was one moment when there's this big Covenant ship that comes down and it looks like it's going to start destroying Halsey's lab,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? And I bring out my laser cannon thing and it doesn't have any ammo in it
Mhm.
because I'd used it all up, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, I can't destroy this thing. That's what this was for, right? And so then I'm
Yeah.
shooting at it with just like my regular, what's it? What
Assault
like,
rifle.
Assault
or whatever.
rifle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it just disappears. It just clips out. As if they're like,
Really?
you don't have the facilities to get rid of this thing. So
Don't
we're
even
just
try.
It doesn't even like fly away. It's
No,
just
it just clipped out.
gone.
And then I died at that part and
Mhm.
came back. The same thing happened. It clipped out again. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this must have been programmed into where they're like, if they don't have the ammo from the laser gun, just clip it
Really?
out.
I feel like rarely are you able to destroy those things.
There was two
Yeah.
bugs
Okay.
in the game. That was one of them, and the other one that was persistent. Like 10 times happened in a row. And I'll talk
Okay.
about it. It's on Pillar of Autumn.
Okay.
It was ridiculous. Like ridiculous. I
Okay.
think that it was Pillar of Autumn. I hope that it's not the package, but we'll talk about it. Anyway, is there anything else that we want to talk about during the package? That's when you get Cortana.
Yeah. So she's the package.
Yeah. I know.
Okay. So I was defending that area,
Uh-huh.
and the whole time there's a wraith like way far away shooting
Yeah.
towards you, but it never even comes close.
Yeah.
Eventually, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go hijack that wraith. So I run all the way over there. I get to it. I think there was this huge like cavern there, so I couldn't get to it. I don't think I ended up hijacking it. No, you know what? I did. I got to it. I hijacked it, and then they're like, "All right, we're in." So I had to go all the way back, and the wraiths are slow. So I
Yeah.
ran. Took forever to get back. I was like, "This is stupid."
Yeah.
I finally got a big vehicle,
Yeah.
and I was like, "They're just gonna get harder and harder these waves." No, no.
All right. So the Pillar of Autumn.
Pillar bottom.
So something happened to me on the Pillar of Autumn
Okay.
where you're in a what's it called? One of the little a mongoose
Okay.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Emil, right?
Okay.
And you're going, and he's like, "There's a broken down bridge here. We're gonna have to make the jump."
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Did anything happen to you guys during that part?
Nope, I made the jump perfectly fine.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah.
We fell short every single time, the
No
exact
way.
same way.
What?
Yeah. So
It
like you're
died.
going down. It died every single time. So we, no joke. So we would start going down, and then it picks up speed,
Mm-hmm.
and then we would fly up, turn sideways, and then barely hit the edge of the other side of the bridge and then fall off.
You weren't driving.
I was not driving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, there's 2 mongoose, and so I think in mine I was just driving my own, and he was driving the other one.
I think someone was driving the warthog that I was in when I did it.
Okay, so I wonder if there's some sort of bug where if you're in
You're
the
in the
mongoose,
back.
Buddy, you're too heavy for it, man.
I don't know
Yeah.
what was going on, but
That's
every
funny.
single time we
Oh,
missed. And I
that
was like,
sucks.
I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep seeing if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I did it like 10 times.
And,
And we fell every
Did you ever
single
make
time.
it past it?
What do you mean?
Like, did it ever work ever?
There was a time when I was like, I think this is just where I just stopped playing. Because I can't move forward. So what ended up happening was I would wait until we were at the very, like, we just hit the edge, and then I would get out of the mongoose, and I was just able to get on the edge and jump at it at such an angle that I was able to get on to that side. I thought that that's how it was supposed to happen. I was like, oh, Emil's gonna die here.
Uh-huh.
I literally thought that
And then he just
that
shows
was
up
built
again.
into
yeah,
it.
that was built into it. That it's like you know, because like sometimes that happens. Like in it's a cutscene, but there's a game called it's something of the Colossus. Blank of the Colossus.
Okay.
And you have this horse, and you're running along a thing. I forgot the horse's name. I think it's like Ajax or something like that. And you're not the
You
squirrel.
always think it's Ajax.
I
It's not.
feel like that's his name.
All right.
And you're running along, and it's a cutscene, and you try to go make this jump, and then Ajax bucks you off at the very last second. He falls down the cliff, and you make it on the other side. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
So sad.
So you were
right?
like, oh,
I'm
Neil's
like,
the Ajax.
And Neil's the Ajax of this, right?
Yeah.
So then I land on the other side. I turn around, and he's
He's
standing
right there.
on the other side of the
He's like,
bridge.
let's go, soldier.
Yeah, he's standing on the other
like
side.
across the gap.
Across the gap.
He's like, hey, I bailed before we even
Yeah,
made that jump.
yeah.
I'm surprised you made it, buddy.
Yeah. So I don't know how that all worked. I looked down. The mongoose was down there. Then I go up, and I'm like, okay, I guess I just walk now. Didn't feel like I should have, but I start walking. There's a big barricade. I'm like, okay, we must have just stopped here.
Mhm.
I go get some ammo, turn around, Emil's there.
Yeah.
He just,
Just teleport, dude.
So
I cannot believe that happened.
Like a Skyrim follower.
during that part where you're driving the mongoose, did you guys stop to kill people, or were you just driving through, getting through all of that?
I think I did a little bit of
A little
both.
bit. I just
We
There
just
There were
drove.
so many
through.
enemies.
Yeah,
I
we just drove.
yeah,
I
just
might have tried to
drove
hijack the
through.
right. I love hijacking.
Yeah, that was just so crazy to me. I wrote it. I wrote down in my notes. We missed the bridge jump every time.
Every time. That's crazy.
Isn't that
That's such a
wild?
weird-
It's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing wrong?
That's why
You know?
earlier you were like, "Oh, hold on, buddy." 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
you
like, they
think
never
that they
fell
never-
off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but they.
But
did.
also, most of the other guys fall off. Is that the scene where it shows like the two armies going head to head? I don't think so. I think it's earlier in the campaign, but it shows
Yeah,
like all of the warthogs and mongoose and
It's so
falcons
cool.
going across the desert,
That part was
and then
so
the whole
dope.
covenant
yeah.
coming. And it doesn't really. I don't really remember anything happening. And
No.
then it goes to the next mission.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
kind of like, oh, that was cool, but
There was also one other part. I don't remember what mission it is, but I was in the GAT. You know, I was in the back with the gun in a warthog, and there was like a bunch of these like cement like road blockers, I guess, on this bridge. And Kat or somebody went to go over them, and we fell off the cliff. Like they like fell off.
that's so funny.
So
dude.
twice it happened.
You're
Actually,
like,
12
you're like,
times.
I died. It's not my fault.
Yeah,
this
so
is
many times.
atrocious.
Yeah,
Golly, dude.
redonkulous.
That's
So yeah,
great.
yeah, that's all the notes that I have because that's. I mean, I played the Pillar of Autumn until we got up there, and I was alone, but it wasn't Lone Wolf yet.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
And then
So you saw Emil die.
Yeah, I saw Emil. That's
So
just-
you
that's-
went through the part where Emil is using the big gun to blow up Covenant ships,
Yeah,
and you're fighting the ground troops,
yeah,
and it's getting pretty hard. There's a lot of them.
yeah.
You can get some gravity hammers sometimes.
That part was awesome.
That part was
Yeah.
fun.
I had a good time with that one.
It's a cool like
There's a lot of birds.
multi-level like area
Lot of
too.
birds,
Like there's
yeah.
buildings and rocks.
And the gold guys, like the gold
Yeah.
guys that have the gravity hammers and
yeah.
and yeah, they were pretty cool.
Swords and stuff.
Yeah. Hard.
That part is hard.
And then the cutscene where Emil dies.
Yeah.
He kills an elite. The other one gets him. He kills it.
And they're like, let's go.
Yeah, and they're
Noble
like,
6 is like, nope, I gotta get to the.
yeah,
He's
he's
just
like,
the
no,
lone
no, no.
wolf.
He's like, you guys aren't gonna make it unless I.
He says something like, "I'm the one with the gun."
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets in there. He starts. It's cool to just finally, because those drop ships,
Mhm.
you can never kill those, no matter what. In firefight, like there's nothing you can do to kill them. You can break the turret on the front.
Yeah.
But you're finally killing them with this huge gun where like shakes, like the screen like
I remember
zooms
that.
in.
Yeah, I remember.
So you
that.
did shoot it.
No, I never shot it, but I remember.
Oh yeah,
hearing
it
the
would
sound.
do it. It would
It
do
would
it
go-
when
yeah,
you would go
especially
like-
when you're on the
it was
ground.
like
Yeah.
the screen. Would
Yeah, at
like,
first
yeah.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I know
Like,
it's
am
so
I getting,
cool.
am I
dude.
getting shot at?
It's
But
like the biggest gun
so cool.
ever. Yeah, really cool. So then what happens, Holden? You watch the Pillar of Autumn take off.
Okay.
It's huge, weird looking ship, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know why, like all of a sudden you're in like this open sandy area
Yeah.
with these boulders, nothing else really.
It almost feels like a dream.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
And you're just fighting off Covenant, and eventually, no matter how good you are or how easy the campaign difficulty is, your shields get down. You're starting to lose health. There's more and more of them coming. They're harder to kill. And then it goes to the cutscene.
I
where
knew
you
that
die.
was going to happen. I felt like it was going to end in me
Okay.
dying.
All right.
Because it just, I mean, I've seen Rogue One, and so I know how that movie ends.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, everybody dies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I just have a feeling that everybody on this team is going to die. And
Yeah.
I wanted it to be that way
Mm-hmm.
because it would be so frustrating if it was like Cortana chose you, and also you're the only one that survives. It's like, oh, shut up. You know,
Yeah.
like how?
Yeah,
How am I
it
the-
is
How am I
kind
the
of
chosen
cool.
one? I'm
Right.
the Dragonborn.
You're like,
you
oh,
know?
okay, I've seen this story before.
So many times,
But
but
it is
I
cool.
like that it's
Yeah.
like, no, you die.
Yeah, this is it, buddy.
Yeah.
This happens. And I don't know exactly how Cortana and Master Chief get together because I don't think he's on the Pillar of Autumn. In fact, I heard once that if you complete it on Legendary without dying or something, on the last cutscene you can like pan right and it will go a little bit further and show Master Chief taking off in this pod.
Oh, interesting.
And I should have looked that up to know if it's true or not.
That
But it
sounds
sounds cool,
like
'cause I don't think he's on the
Mew is
Pillar
under
of
the
Autumn.
truck in Lavender Town sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Do you know that reference?
I've played. Is it version yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played version yellow. I've heard something like that, but
It was like
I've never tried
like
it.
Missing No and Mew under the truck were like the thing. So Missing No is a real thing. He is a real Pokemon. But then there was just this huge like rumor that if you went to Lavender Town with Missing No and like it just like it was just, you know, like kids at the playground.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, I
Yeah.
have Mew. I found him under the truck in Lavender Town. And so
Really?
then all these kids are just like, because then if you can't figure it out, there's no internet, right? So then you're like, yeah, I found him too. You know?
Oh yeah, man.
So it just
Oh,
became
dude.
this huge toxic thing. but
Back
he's
in the
not
day
there.
when things like that would just get
But
perpetuated.
nowadays, like 2-year-olds are like, yeah, it's data mined. It's not in there.
Mhm.
You know? So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, whatever, dude, I found it.
Yeah.
Knowing full well you
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, I have Game Shark, so
Yeah.
I found it.
So just a few more things to cover.
Okay.
The sound design.
Very good.
Halo's always so
The
good with the
music.
music, dude.
Yeah, the music is awesome.
So
It's
good.
turnt when it needs to be turnt, and it's
Uh-huh.
solemn as all get out.
Yeah,
When
and
it's
the
like real
singing.
solemn.
The
Just,
piano, like slow piano music.
Yeah,
You're
that
just
kind
like,
of stuff.
oh, people are dying. There's fire in the background.
Yeah.
And then the next mission, you're like, and you're
Yeah,
just like, yeah, dude, I'm
so
gonna get
good.
it, dude.
They did
Yeah,
such a
I
good job
love
with
the
all that.
music. I love the visuals, and I don't know, like the design of the ships and the set pieces is all awesome.
What was really cool to me is that sometimes it's hard when you're doing sci-fi to make the alien stuff and the human stuff look very different.
Yeah, but also be like realistically different
Yeah.
to a degree, of course.
Yeah.
But also be like on brand
Yeah.
individual.
But I was never confused. I was like, that's Covenant
Yeah,
stuff. This is
Yeah.
my stuff.
it's like
the
purple
theme-
and gray.
But the theme was just so strong. You know, it's like
Yeah.
very jagged, rough edges for the human stuff and very rounded,
Yeah, smooth.
you know, smooth stuff. And it was just really cool to be able to. I know that
it's
that
really
seems
strong.
like it's not that big of a deal, but it is. Also, the enemy design is brilliant.
Yeah.
How
Except for, I mean, grunts are just like, why even bother?
Yeah.
I mean, grunts are useless.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew this or realized this, but if you kill an elite, the grunts, that's when they give up. They start running away and screaming.
I love
like
that.
as soon as the elite's
I like
gone.
the grunts. Dude.
I mean, I like them, but as from
That's
the standpoint
funny.
of the Covenant, it's like, oh, why do we even like send them? Like they're not.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was the reason why they run away.
Yeah. If they don't have a leader,
It's like the elite.
but
is
even
standing
when
there.
they don't, I mean, you can hardly know the difference between when they run away and when they don't. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just, they're grunts.
They're like wandering around aimlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sometimes.
they're like Ewoks, kind of.
Like they're all like waiting to be deployed from their ship, and the grunts are like, "We're gonna go get him." And the elites are like, "Come on, dude, no, you're not."
Like, it's just like
Shut
the elites are like looking at each other like, oh my god.
Yeah. They just give like a side glance of like, oh,
Like they don't know
these
what
guys.
war is.
Yeah.
It's like little children, basically.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Oh man, like just the logistics of deploying how many grunts, how to get them there, and it's never worth it.
Yeah.
I guess in like New Alexandria, the grunts are probably killing civilians efficiently.
Right.
Yeah.
But against a Spartan, maybe.
Yeah, but
that's
there's
the
only
thing.
6 Spartans.
Yeah. So
You're the
yeah.
chosen one, Justin.
Yeah.
Grunt
I always
apocalypse.
forget.
That's the
Yeah.
only.
Grunt.
It's
the
like
only
how-
way that they can.
I mean, and
defeat
even
you.
then,
Yeah,
it's
even
not,
then
they're not a
it's-
threat.
It's like Pokemon, Skyrim, like any game that's like you are the chosen one.
Yeah.
It's like every other person is just so useless
Yeah,
at
that's fair.
everything. Dude,
That's
they're
fair.
like, this Poochyena might as well have killed me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so scared. And you go fight it. It's like the easiest thing ever.
You're like, oh, this guy?
Yeah, or like Zelda, they're like, one of those slimes really got me. And it takes
Yeah.
one hit. It's like, I guess I am the freaking hero of time. But,
Yeah.
you know.
You're like, you guys can do this too, man. I'm a
yeah,
little boy.
like a grunt could kill you, for sure.
Uh-huh.
You'd die from a grunt.
I don't know. Even the plasma pistol just travels so slow through the air.
But you're not a Spartan.
No, but like, how short are the grunts, dude? Knee height? Like, come on, dude. It's a 6-year-old.
I could do this. I could do an
Yeah,
elbow
you wouldn't
to
even
their
be- you'd be
face.
too tall.
But you don't have
You'd
Spartan
miss.
strength.
That's true.
You don't
That's
need it,
true.
dude. Come on, man. Their backpack thing is like more than half of their body.
What even
mass.
is that? Like, are there organs
I
in
think
there?
it's kind of like a breathing thing, maybe, because when you hit it, so you can separate that from the body, and it will like fly around and
Yeah.
be green and then
Yeah.
explode.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's a way many people die in Halo.
Yep, it sucks.
Did you die
Yeah, a
into
couple
that?
times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, it is.
But like, that's not even them. Like, I think they're these little like gremlin things. If you take away the big backpack on them.
I remember when I was a kid, my cousin Ben
Old
was
Benny.
talking to me about hunters,
Mhm.
and hunters are just like a worm. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah, I think I did. Know
They're
that.
just like there's just like an orange worm
Yeah.
that lives inside of
In
that
that big
in
shell.
that shell.
What the?
Yeah, so
I
that's
didn't know
why
that.
And they
that's
give
why
it all
the
this
shell
armor and-
can't do anything. But if you hit their back, which it's very
Ah.
convenient of them to not armor their
Their-
fleshy innards.
Yeah, it's-
But yeah, that's fine.
Like, just don't turn around.
Yeah.
And then you get close and there's like, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah.
And then he's behind you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The downfall of all of his pride.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They can't get behind me.
No one's immune to pride.
Yeah, exactly. Not even hunters. Not even big worms.
Yeah. That'll
Alien
get
worms. Oh.
you. There was another thing that I realized was it? Okay. Biggest beef moment.
With the game,
Do you have one, Holden?
I do.
What is it? Because Calvin and I, we've talked about this.
Oh, really?
We share the
I
same
think we
biggest
share the
beef
same
moment.
beef.
You
My-
go, then Calvin will go.
Oh, I have 2 biggest beef moments.
Dude, let's hear him.
The story is incomprehensible.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is tough.
That's a good beef.
Like I felt
That's
like
so
I was
good beef.
so
That's
on
like
the
good beef.
outside,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, like, do Halo fans even get this? Like Spencer. Do you think he's sitting there like, yeah, I fully comprehend?
I feel like they
everything?
understand that it happens before the Halo story, but like the actual
I think
things
jargon,
going on in
I think
between.
eventually they get it because, like me, they go back and watch YouTube videos. And I only did that because we were recording podcasts about it.
Yeah.
I think Spencer would think and act like he gets it, but when you're playing it for the first time, There's no way, dude. Unless you
Yeah.
like read books and know who all the characters are.
But I'm even talking about just the jargon. Like, just the way that they talk, it might as well be another language.
Yeah. I
Cat
agree.
for sure, because she's
Yeah.
like, well, there's viruses.
Like, I get it. You're supposed to sound smart, but there's a difference between sounding smart and alienating literally your entire audience.
Yeah.
sounding smart, and it's to the point that they sound dumb.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
I
it's like-
understood we're fighting the Covenant,
Mhm.
and then I was like, oh, Cortana. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now I
same.
understand.
Same.
They're like
I was
that.
like, oh, this is
This
Rogue
is the
One.
main mission.
Yeah.
They're like that Noble Six guy. Not a lot going on upstairs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
literally.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was just the AI was pretty stupid.
Okay.
That was another biggest beef moment for me. Like getting into warthogs, and also just like there were times when I felt like I was a part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
but really it was just like, you're the leader. Right? Because they're going to follow you. They have no idea.
They're gonna
what you're
wait
doing.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm new here too.
I think it's cool how they can actually like kill enemies,
Yeah.
but you have to kill all the big enemies.
Having never played a Halo game before, also, I didn't know what was inbounds and what wasn't inbounds.
Mm.
And so I was like, there's like a whole freaking world ahead of me. I have
Yeah,
no
you can
idea
get lost.
where I'm supposed to go.
Mhm.
But then toward the end of it, I was like, oh, I know that
You kinda
obviously
get a feel
this
for
is
it.
not the game.
Yeah.
You know?
This waterfall over here.
Yeah.
It's
So
probably
that's,
not where I'm
those
going.
are my two biggest beef moments. What's your guys' biggest beef moment?
Go ahead,
Calvin,
Calvin.
you say it.
We could say it, or 3, 2, 1, armor lock.
for sure.
And this isn't maybe as big of a deal in the campaign.
No.
But
Though
in
it does
multiplayer,
appear.
it does appear. And there is one moment in the campaign where I was driving a vehicle and I got
No.
armor lock and I
No.
exploded
No.
in the campaign.
Oh.
But
Wait, what do you mean?
So, have you ever used armor lock?
No.
Okay, so it's one of the armor abilities.
Yeah, I always just use sprint because I thought armor lock was stupid.
My man.
Yeah.
So you do this move where you
Yeah.
put your fists on the ground, you become indestructible. It's the biggest beef, mostly in multiplayer, and I can't describe how annoying it is. Someone on the other team chooses armor lock,
Mhm.
and you're hitting them with your assault rifle, and you're about to melee them, whatever, kill them. They do their armor lock, and they're sitting there. You can't do anything to kill them,
Yeah.
and their teammates kill you,
Mhm.
and then they get out of it. And then maybe they die immediately too.
Yeah,
but just
no,
that
dude.
you didn't get the kill
It only gets worse.
is so bad.
Because if the people that are the worst of the worst with armor lock will run up to you, hit it, and then when they release armor lock,
Oh, it
if you're
explodes.
next to it, it depletes your shields immediately.
Yeah.
So they just have to hit you one time and
Wow.
you
I
die.
Right.
forgot about that part
Yeah,
of it.
so it is because if you shoot someone in the armor lock as you're getting closer and you just stand next to them, they release and you're like stunned and they just kill you.
Yeah.
It's so
it's so
overpowered.
infuriating.
when you're going full speed in any vehicle towards someone, they armor lock and the vehicle explodes and they're
Yeah.
fine.
Really?
It's
Just like you hit a brick
unbelievable,
wall.
dude. Yeah, it is, dude. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's
Wow.
overpowered.
And they can
but-
stay in there for like a while
Yeah. I
until
mean,
it breaks.
wow.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing at the time in multiplayer. It's like a thing of pride not to use armor
Yeah,
lock.
seriously.
Yeah.
Like if you use armor lock,
You
you're-
start a game and you're like,
you're
oh,
terrible.
one of them is using armor
Yeah.
lock.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god.
I mean, that's in any competitive game. You know,
there's always the thing.
the thing that is the most powerful,
Yeah.
and anybody who uses it
Uh-huh.
has the excuse of like, if it's in the game and it's
Mhm.
really good, then everybody should use it. And then there's the people that are like, we take pride in not doing
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? It's like in
You were telling me about this in a different episode.
yeah, I was
the
talking about
Donkey
Smash
Kong.
4. Yeah, the Ding Dong.
Ding dong.
Yeah. So in Smash 4, there was a thing called Ding Dong. I already talked about this on the podcast.
Mhm.
But basically, as Donkey Kong, you could up throw, up air.
Mhm.
And if your opponent, let's say that you're playing Diddy Kong, you know that if he's at 64%, there's nothing he can do and he will die. Right? And so people would have notebooks with all the characters and their Ding Dong percentages in their notebooks. And they would bring it to tournaments.
So they just know.
They just know, like,
they
I have to
chose-
play Donkey Kong enough to get them to 62% and then ding dong them and I'm done, right? And back then it was 2 stocks.
Oh, okay.
And so it's even worse.
So you just had to do it twice.
It's ridiculous, dude. So then there was the people that were like avidly against it. Like they wouldn't even play Donkey Kong. Because then if you played against somebody and they played Donkey Kong and they didn't ding dong, it's like, well, just why aren't you? You know?
Yeah.
And
you're
so,
not gonna win if you don't.
Yeah, and like, you know, there's certain things like that in Magic too, certain things like that in any game.
Any game, yeah.
And I've always taken, it's stupid. There's nothing really to be proud of, but I've always taken pride in never really.
No, there
doing those
is
things.
something to be proud of. Because if you are like Calvin and I, and you're like, I'm just not going to use armor lock, because like there is something like that in pretty much every game, and I just want to give a shout out to the guys like me who are like, you know what, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to think of other examples like in Call of Duty, like there's got to be something. I just don't.
I mean, there's camping.
Oh, you know what it is in Call of Duty? Camping, but also the noob tube.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember that? It's a grenade launcher attachment that you can put on most guns. And it's a grenade that just launches. It kills you on impact, or if it explodes, it can kill you. And it was a big old thing, but I was always like, I'm not doing
I remember
it too.
Final Stand was like a really big deal in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Where like a lot of people would do Final Stand, and
Yeah.
I never did it because I just thought it was so lame.
That was probably to a lesser degree, but the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I was the
Do you remember
worst.
what Final Stand is?
So if you got a kill on somebody, they would be down and they would have a revolver.
Oh,
and they were able
They
to
fall back and lay down with their legs up. And,
and they were able to take you out.
Yeah, that's true.
Ridiculous, dude. That's so messed up because in Call of Duty, even if somebody final stands against you 50 times, the second you have a kill, you're moving on.
Yeah.
And then you move on and they get you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible, dude. It's horrible.
Yeah. That's armor lock. What are the ways to get around it if someone's using armor lock? I feel like it's just you stay away.
It depends because you have to stay a certain distance away. If you get their shields down and then they go down, you just have to wait and hope their teammates aren't around.
Yeah.
Or just leave. I mean, dude, it's so, especially when you're trying to splatter. Like, splattering is so easy to dodge. You just have to jump. And also, splattering is so risky because you're at such a risk of being hijacked. Oh, armor lock just isn't the way to go, man.
Yeah.
And it's a sentiment that is out throughout all of Reach players. Like,
I'm gonna text my brother and ask him, what do you think about armor lock?
Hey, please
I'd love
do.
to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my biggest beef.
What's your so on the flip side, do you have a favorite armor ability?
I'm just a sprint guy.
What about other than that? Do you use anything else?
I don't really like jetpack because I'm so used to using sprint that I feel so slow without it.
Yeah.
And jetpack I think it's pretty strong. Like people that just go for the rocket launcher and then jetpack over and shoot down.
Yeah.
And that's annoying.
That's just awesome. I'm sorry.
It's awesome to do that. It is annoying, but I don't really care that much. Like, I'm like, I'd rather just be fast. I used to use hologram. That one's pretty funny, but it's not great.
Yeah. Camo can sometimes work.
Yeah, camo can be not bad. If there's like times where two of your teammates left, so it's 2v4 and you have camo, and you just camp and go camo when someone's nearby, and then wait for them to walk by and hit them or something.
Camo sword. That's
insane. Yeah. But even that isn't that strong because in that example I gave, if you're the other team and you're ahead by a ton, you just don't even go near because you know where the camo guy is because the radar. The radar is full of red dots. You just don't even go near there. I'm not doing that. Yeah. And you're gonna win because the time's gonna run out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a sprint guy.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You too? Kevin?
Yeah, pretty much sprint, maybe jetpack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
What are the other ones? I have them written down.
There's the drop shield.
Is that a thing in Halo Reach?
I think so.
I think
it puts down a shield, but hardly anyone uses that. Yeah. There's the bamboozle.
Drop shield might be that might be an equipment thing from. I know it is for sure in Halo 3. I don't know in Reach if you can take that with you everywhere. I don't know.
I can't remember, but
anyway,
I thought that there was a shield.
The hologram one can be so funny. But yeah, I'm just a sprint guy, man.
Yeah, me too.
Give me sprint, give me a DMR, dude. Couple grenades.
Yeah.
I'm happy, man.
Yeah. It's a good
I
time.
love the DMR.
Well, overall, I feel like it's not a lot of beef
No?
for a game.
No.
It's like that one.
I do
That
kind of
one
agree with
thing.
holding the story.
Yeah,
It's
the
hard to
story
follow.
is it. That's.
I hadn't
big
thought
beef.
about that. But yeah, that's true, man. I mean, this game is just warms my heart, dude.
It's a great game.
I love this game so much.
My
It's so
brother
polarizing.
got back to me.
Okay.
What is
He
he
said, honestly, I didn't do PvP at all in Reach. We just did Horde mode or whatever it's called.
Oh, firefight.
Yeah, he just did firefight.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
That's so funny to
Sorry.
me that Armor Lock plagued you even in campaign, because I saw it being used, but it was never in my way. The fact that you died to it.
Yes.
Oh, dude,
it made me so mad. That's what I wrote down. I think it was my first mission.
So you're like, this is gonna be a long
Yeah.
campaign.
Armor Lock destroys vehicles. Ghost just blew up when it.
Yeah, dude.
When it
And multiplayer too, man.
that's so rough.
The worst, dude. So bad. Ugh.
All right. Well,
Oh, I have a few reviews.
oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
We're we gotta. I mean, we've been going for a while here.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to split it in half.
Okay.
It's not so much. But I thought these were interesting. We could write a review if we want. But this is such a huge game, it's so hard to do that.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
these are just on we like
Play it.
these are just on like Google, so they're from all over the web.
Uh-huh.
This guy's name is Lunar Does Everything.
Okay.
He says, I feel like Bungie was really at the top of their game during the 2000s, but has slowly declined as of the new decade. This is not a bad game. Bungie's always had a knack for good storylines. However, the gameplay in the missions never feels as exhilarating or replayable as the other games, except for ones like New Alexandria and Noble Actual. So the first mission and then the New Alexandria one.
Yeah.
The multiplayer, in my opinion, is just as good as Halo 3. The armor abilities, which are also prominent in the campaign, don't really bother me that much. Bungie wanted to add something to make it fresh, and I can see why people don't like it. The Forge is better than ever. It's simple but fun. The multiplayer is so fun. There are game modes like Big Team Battle where it's a massive fight, and there are vehicles you can get in. Or Infection, I played the hell out of that mode. And even Team Deathmatch, which I thought was going to be boring. There isn't a limit to player skill, so you can really channel your skills. There's other tidbits like the music, which is just ... incredible.
Yeah.
The character customization was extremely innovative and fun. The
Oh,
AI,
yeah.
he says, the AI, I mean, come on. The AI feels like the Covenant, and I think Bungie tweaked it so that the ones with the lower grade armor are generally easy to hit and kill, while the ones with the higher are literally impossible. Despite this being one of the weakest of the bunch, it still feels like a classic Halo game. But there are glaring issues that stare you down in this game. This won't go down in history as one of the best Halo games, but down in history as one that tried to push the technology of the Xbox 360 and took risks. A lot of good points in there.
Wow.
What do you think he rated it out of 5 stars? Calvin, you
4.
guess. Okay, you guess.
5.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, he he didn't, I don't know.
That's one of
He
those where
said, yeah,
It's
said
positive,
It's
but-
not the best Halo game.
Yeah, but he liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the armor customization,
I
You
forgot
don't-
about that. It's so
I don't
awesome.
think you know about this, do you?
I did it in the campaign. Like they asked me to like make my armor, but
Oh,
I
I
didn't
didn't
have
in
any
the
other
campaign.
choice.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
we
even
didn't have
know
any
you could do it in the
choices.
campaign.
Yeah,
Huh.
so your guy will appear in cutscenes and stuff as you make him.
Yeah.
Um,
And then halfway through the campaign, it just forgot what settings I had and made me green.
really?
Yeah. I
So
had my
you-
guy like
yeah.
cyan and like bright pink.
Uh-huh.
And then halfway through, it just made him green.
So in Reach, I don't know. I think the Master Chief Collection doesn't have this as good as it was in Reach, but you can unlock different armors.
Yeah.
You can change the shoulder, the arm. You can get the robot arm.
Yeah, because you had like
Yeah.
a Spartan helmet on. Like it was like actually like Spartan. Like it was like a Roman soldier. It was really cool.
Oh, I didn't even
Really?
know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
While we're
notice
playing
either.
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
The
That's cool.
customization was so cool in Reach.
That's
dude.
awesome, dude.
Colors, visor color.
Yeah. it
So
was
you asked
really
about
cool.
people with like flaming skulls and
Yeah.
stuff. You could get that too. You could
The
get this one
effects.
called Pestilence that had like gnats and like
Oh, horrible.
green
You
like,
saw a guy
yeah.
with horns, which
Yeah,
I don't
I saw it.
remember.
No, that was never in Reach.
Yeah.
That's a Master Chief
Must be
Collection
different,
thing.
but
maybe.
that was cool. I love the. You can get like in the campaign they have the paint on their helmets and stuff like that too.
Oh, like the scratch thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah, there was a lot of customization. That was so fun, dude. You
The
can make your guy
colors were
look
fun.
huge. I remember I'd always get a robot arm and put sniper rounds on the shoulder. So
dope.
sweet, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I would
Yeah, the
always
customization
do,
was great.
like Spider-Man colors.
Oh,
the blue
yeah.
and red.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I liked cyan. I liked orange and white, too, for some reason.
Orange and white is a freaking...
It's a
That's
sweet
such
combo.
a good combo.
Dude, oh, man.
I want to get a Game Boy Color that's white with orange buttons.
Ooh, nice,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
There was also ranks in Halo Reach, and they got progressively harder to hit. But it started out with like the military things, like a shape with stars on it, and it changed over time.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, it was just symbols. So it was like this half moon, this full moon. Do you remember all that?
Yeah.
Like the highest level guys, like it was just these cool like symbols instead of like a
Corny.
instead of a symbol.
Yeah.
It was literally like it was really cool, man.
Instead
All
of
that
like
stuff was great.
Stars and the little
Yeah, instead of a
banners.
triangle. Yeah.
Triangles.
Yeah, so that was really cool. All right, we got a couple more reviews here.
Okay.
I didn't realize how long it would take for me to read these because they're long.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun. It's
Yeah,
a traditional way to end the episode. Nathaniel Whitaker.
Okay.
You know him. Halo Reach is one thing. Depressing, all caps. I was crying after I played this game. Okay. This does not...
I wasn't crying.
Well, he didn't say okay. He said, I was crying after I played this game. This does not make for an enjoyable gaming experience.
What?
People are getting it wrong saying Halo 5 has the worst campaign. All caps, welcome to Reach. Some screwed up game with a terrible storyline. The only thing that I slightly enjoyed about this game was the characters. And I believe that if they had made these characters even better, the game would have earned itself another star from me. You can also create your own Spartan known as Noble 6, which is really fun. So the game was not all bad. The characters' personalities and armors were great. You can also create a custom game, which someone will have to explain to me. Noble 6 seems like the main character in the game. 343 and Bungie just should have ... let him survive. They did not need to reference him in Halo 1 at all, but I suppose they had already made up their minds about that one. I think he's saying, like, even if he would have survived, like, no one would have cared that he's not mentioned in Halo 1.
Oh, I see.
But
I disagree.
Noble 6 was kind of obsolete in the story anyway. He is just a character that you play as. ... Maybe he is still alive. He's not. If some of the great characters in this game did not die...
Maybe he's still alive. Anyway, next point.
Yeah, just disregard all of everything that he wrote. And it had a happier ending. I would have enjoyed it a lot more. Out of 5 stars, what do you think?
Well, I think he's going to give it a 2.
2.
Yep.
Yeah.
2.
I disagree because I think that's what makes it a good story, is that they give their lives.
Yeah.
And that it's not the same as every other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just the hero's journey.
You're not the triumphant
tragedy.
hero. It's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, it's good, dude.
Yeah.
I want you to read this one.
Okay.
The screenshot couldn't get his name, so I wrote it in there.
Okay.
But
And
John-
don't read the stars.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank you.
This is Josh Coulson.
Yep.
An incredible chore to slog through. What should have been a $15 DLC was inflated by waves of enemies purely for the purpose of extending as much playtime as possible. Despite that, I still completed it between breakfast and lunch on a Saturday. All right.
Weird
Yeah. And it took you months. And
Yeah.
You didn't even...
Yeah.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
The narrative was practically non-existent for the majority of the game. The last hour summed it up in its entirety, and even then it wasn't satisfying.
I think that it's just that he didn't understand the
Yeah,
story
yeah.
like anybody else, and then you see
Well,
Cortana
right.
and you're like, oh, I get
That,
Halfway-
yeah, I agree with that.
Halfway not his fault.
it. Yeah.
I felt the same way. I was like, I'm
Mhm.
fighting Covenant. Oh, Cortana, cool. It merely paid homage to the iconic Admiral Keyes. Is that right?
I think that's the guy who you give Cortana to on the Pillar of Autumn.
I see.
I think.
Yeah, and Pillar of Autumn in the form of a prequel. The characters with their awkward voice acting weren't given enough development for me to develop any real attachment. Any lore providing collectibles were slapdash and incoherent. The levels did have
Slapdash.
What does that even
Isn't that
mean?
a sweet
I
idea?
don't
Yeah,
know.
it
I
is.
like slapdash.
Sounds like Balderdash.
That's
The
what he
levels
meant.
did have decent architecture, but inside were hollow and lifeless. The janky NPC AI felt uncomfortable, but at least it remained consistent with the series, I suppose. The background soundtrack sounded like it was produced in GarageBand and was never meant to be used outside of a phone's ringtone.
Wrong.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. This guy is just hot takes
Yeah.
the guy.
Oh, Josh.
The
dude.
reviews praising this game for anything other than its character design seem to be from players either experiencing game. Oh, okay, let me read it again.
Yeah.
The reviews praising this game for anything other than its character design seem to be from players either experiencing games or Halo as its franchise for the first time. This makes sense. So
This
they're
makes
Wait,
saying
it
like,
ends in this makes sense?
Yep.
yeah, that's the end of his review. So
He's like, he has a theory and he just says, this makes sense. And he's like, oh, I'll hit enter now.
Yeah.
Like, that's enough for
Yeah, he accidentally hit enter. He's like, okay.
oh, there's another this. I don't know why I just thought of this, but another piece to the campaign that I enjoy. Halo 3 had this too, but it's that the campaign's co-op. I don't know if you guys have played
Oh,
Halo
that's
3 or
Awesome.
Halo Reach this way, but
Forgot about
I
that.
love the fact that it's co-op just because I like being able to play.
Oh, that would be
So
fun to
my
do,
brother
dude.
and I did Halo.
Is he Noble 7? Or
Actually, I don't know who the other person is in the co-op, but anyway,
Anyway.
I love Halo 3 was awesome because you get to play as Master Chief and an elite working together.
Oh, like the
I remember
what's his
that.
name? The Arbiter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I just remember my brother and I played through.
Were you Master Chief or were you the elite?
I can't remember, but
You were probably Master Chief.
Yeah.
Thompson.
Let's just say it. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Okay.
guess
Yeah, stars.
1.
I already know.
It's 2.
2?
Yeah.
Why 2?
Yeah, it sounded like a lot of criticism,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, these people are.
But at the end of the day, he's like, it's Halo.
Yeah, this makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So.
All right.
The
Well, this has been a
Jinky-
blast, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Thanks for having me.
I'm
Oh,
so
just
glad you
thanks for
did.
Favorite
Yeah.
game. We had growing up Reach Wednesdays in
Mhm.
high school. I'd go over to Justin's house every Wednesday after our church youth group, and we'd play Reach
You played with my
together.
brother, and you guys would never win.
we weren't the greatest, but we had fun.
It
We had
wasn't even
blast.
that, man. You just like no matter what, you guys just I just remember every time you're like, we gotta end on a win. And you're like an hour
Just
later
keep
than you are,
going.
and you never ended on a win ever.
Yeah, I'm
Classic.
still like that with the game. We play
Yeah, I mean,
Apex
yeah.
or something. Oh, we can't end like
You do
that.
TFT, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, come on, I gotta
Uh,
get top
yeah,
4.
That's
Yeah,
me
we
with
can
Snap,
start
dude. Like, I'll be, like, in bed about to go to sleep,
Uh-huh.
and I'll lose, like, 8 cubes, and I'm like, I got it. At least.
Yeah.
I got to at least
Yeah.
win
With
one.
that,
I
yeah.
think everyone's like
It's
that.
the
But it was so
worst,
funny
dude.
because you guys would never end on a win, dude.
The other funny piece was I am very loud when I
Oh
play
yeah,
too.
my
and
dad would go.
Justin's dad would hate me because
Oh,
I'd
man.
sit in the basement and I'd sit like right where the stairs are,
Uh-huh.
and my voice would carry up to the
Right up
room.
to the
They're
master
trying
bedroom.
to sleep,
Hey,
but
not right now.
yeah, that's
Classic, dude.
just so many awesome memories playing
Yeah.
Halo Reach multiplayer together,
So
playing
fun.
together with our friends, getting big parties.
Yeah.
I know on Mondays, when we would have school out, we'd get together at your house too in the basement. play Halo, sometimes play Smash Bros.
Yeah,
But those
sometimes
were
we do
always
that
really
too.
fun days too.
I just want Bungie to know that I think Reach is their magnum opus in terms of the Halo series, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think they crescendoed it to Reach perfectly. I always loved the idea of ODST, but I never played it. I do have qualms with Reach, but not really. Just Unreal mostly.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing that I kind of feel like is the characters on Noble Team are a little stereotypical. Like it's like, okay, of course the leader, Captain America guy, the comms tech lady who's always button heads with the leader, the knife guy who's got a bad attitude about everything.
The big friendly
The
giant.
big friendly giant. Yeah. It's all really stereotypical. But I still like
It's just that
they're just-
ragtag.
it's ragtag gang
They
of
shouldn't be together, but it
they
works.
are.
It's
They're
like-
a big family.
Yeah, dude, it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of it, they're like, "Dang it, we're family."
Yeah.
That's just how it is, man.
And dude,
it's like a green guy and a green girl and a
big destroyer guy,
and a tree and a
just
and a
just
rat.
every sort of thing.
Yeah,
but you know what? It's Reach and it's great.
it's great.
The
dude.
story's
Good
great.
game. It's inspiring me to play other Halo games.
We should.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how soon you want to, but like,
Yeah.
I
It's a pretty big
really want to do
undertaking.
Halo Combat Evolved. I think we should go in chronological order. Halo Wars. I think there's 2 Halo Wars. I just
Oh my
learned about
gosh.
Halo Wars 2, but those are
I played those a little bit.
before
Yeah.
Reach.
Oh, interesting.
But those are 343 games.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
I think we should do CE,
Yeah.
Halo 2, Halo 3, and then Halo ODST.
Sure, dude.
And then we can get into the other ones if we still want to.
I'm not even going to.
You should do Halo 3 co-op together.
Oh, we should.
Oh.
Dude, and also Halo CE, you can do multiplayer, but it's only like LAN.
Okay.
It's not online, I don't think.
Okay.
So it's just the campaign, basically. So that would
Got
be
it.
a lot easier to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All
as long
right,
as chewing
well-
on this mystery.
Cool.
Don't.
Well, thanks to everybody who listened and is listening to this.
This
two-part-
feels like so long for us, but we're gonna try to split it. in
Yeah,
half.
we're gonna split it up. And yeah, it's just this is one of those rare occasions where we're doing a 2-parter in one sit down thing, and we're gonna release them one after the other.
Mhm.
And so we just hope that you
It's
like
gonna
it.
just have to happen with big games.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy to me that I think we tackled it as best we could. But like we could revisit it in the future too if we want. But like this is one of the games for me.
Yeah.
Like this is the top 3 games that I was most excited to cover on our podcast. It's crazy that we're doing it this early. But I think we didn't really lose. Of course we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is
this is the
of
best
the-
we can do.
like Halo is a top game for me, and of the
Uh-huh.
Halos, this is it.
Yeah, a
I
lot
played
of
the
it might
most of
be our, I don't know, because our age difference is pretty significant,
Yeah.
especially at the time that Reach came out. Because I was like, oh, maybe it's just a generational thing. But I don't really know if it is, because I think it's just a polarizing game, and those who love it absolutely love it. But like, I played so much Halo 2 and like way more Halo 3, Reach beyond those two, but like I played a lot of Halo 3. But still Reach just holds a special place in my heart.
That's awesome, dude.
Like, yeah, it's just great. Love it.
Well,
Well,
you ready?
did you like it, Holden?
Did I like the game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
After all that.
No, yeah, I enjoyed it. Obviously, it's like my first time ever playing a first-person shooter campaign, like ever.
That's awesome.
Oh.
And so it was great. It was
What
great.
a
to
great
play through.
introduction to that.
Yeah, and so it's really opening me up to like a new genre. Obviously, I'd have to be in the right mood because I'm more of like a like puzzle adventure kind of guy.
Mhm.
But yeah, every once in a while, I felt pretty cool.
You're
doing
gonna
the stuff I
hate
was
Call of
doing.
Duty campaigns.
Really?
No, those have really cool stories.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And scenes and
So you're
stuff.
just trying to create some division
Yeah,
between Halo and
yeah.
Call of Duty.
No,
Yeah.
and more. There's not enough of that.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Well, thank you, Calvin, again.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
No problem. I was happy to to come on.
Yeah.
This was
You were
really
a great
fun.
guest.
We're
really
gonna have
fun.
you on again for something else.
Sounds good.
We'll figure
Yeah.
out what.
Yeah.
Maybe Settlers of Catan. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
I'm down.
You've got a lot of games under your belt that you can talk about. It seems like.
Oh yeah, anything that you want me on, I'll be back.
I've been talking
Nice,
with your little brother Thomas too about having him
Oh,
on.
he's a huge gamer.
Yeah, he's a game
He would
genius.
love to come on. He's
How old is he?
21. Yep,
Oh.
21.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, all right. Well,
He's a huge Halo fan too, and
oh yeah. I think you and him were talking about how you were gonna come on because he texted me. He's like, "Oh, I heard you're gonna have Calvin on," and I knew I was like, Thomas would be a great guest. I knew that Reach was big for my brother Wes too. Wes would be a little more difficult to keep the family friendliness
Yeah.
in the language.
Yeah.
Not the same with Thomas would be great, but I was like, but I didn't play Reach with Thomas that much, but I played with Calvin.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
This has been great.
yeah, it has.
Okay.
And with that, Kibo, take us out.
Hey, free game, talking gaming day and night. This the show that you've been missing, guaranteed to get you hyped. Up, down, left, start, better charge up your controller. The show is taking over with Justin and with Holden. Hey, phase 10, Halo Reach, Magic the Gathering. Plenty games we talking, cause that's what we got a passion in. Hey, restart, run it back, let's play like we in the arcade. Homie, this is free game.